Excuse me, I just finished eating. Hello and welcome to episode 19 of the Burning Staff on Twitch. I'm the Dungeon Master, RxOliver. I'll be back with your players in Discord voice in a minute. So, preemptively to anybody who does, thanks for joining us. We do this weekly at 7 o'clock UK time. This is episode 19 of a persistent campaign. You can catch up on the Twitch VODs and on YouTube. Here we go.
They're positive.
Right.
So two good Corona bits.
Right guys, that's me back. Let's do it. Episode 19.
Okay.
Y'all hear me okay?
Yep.
Yep.
So, remind me exactly where we left off. Were you on the way back with Marakai to Machina, or was he going back to Machina and you were going to go to Helmsere? The latter.
I believe we were going to travel the road with him and then split off in our separate directions.
I believe so, yeah.
I'm just going to be away from my headphones for like literally 2 seconds, but it's just in case you send.
Okay. How is everybody this week? We all good?
Yes, fine.
Sorry I didn't get a chance to chat before we jumped into game, but I was busy as always.
No trouble.
My dinner should have been ready at 20 past, and when I went to go take it out of the oven, I hadn't put it in the oven, so I was delayed by 20 minutes. Typical
No problem.
me.
It's one of those things that you decide you're going to do, and you get everything ready for it, and then you do everything apart from turn it on.
I'm banging time for the game though, so it's all good.
Great stuff.
Had to get my notebook.
Oh yeah, of course. So you were going to go travel along the wee forest path to the main road, split off. He's going back to Machina.
Okay.
And you were gonna
are
go
we
to
heading back
Helmsere.
to towards the unless the very great wizard knows a shortcut? I'd suggest we go back the way we came.
Are we going? Are we going back with Malachi? Okay.
I think you're going to go as far back as there with Marakai.
Okay.
And then you're going to head right, he's going to head left.
Okay.
And if I remember correct, we were going to spend the rest of the day at his tower and leave in the morning. So Cornaith and Kiara would have a chance to write at least a couple of spells into
Learn some of the
their
spells we've got from
collective
it.
books.
It's not a tower, you're just thinking tower because he's a mage. It's just a hut in the woods, just a little like
Right.
forester's hut kind of thing, yeah. Filled with magic items and potions and stuff, but it's a hut, it's not a tower.
A tower is what you make of it. Anything can be a tower.
Man's home is his castle, eh?
That's right.
Yeah, okay, so this wizard's tower is a hut in the woods.
No, it looks like a hut in the woods. We haven't seen
Yeah,
the real one.
well, exactly. He's a wizard, eh? He has some very powerful magic for sale, so you assume very powerful wizard.
Of course.
Great friends with Norm, and as we know, as we can see by now, Norm's a great influence and a great powerful man around here, isn't he?
He's inverted commas connected.
One of those, yeah.
Okay. Schninkenuk will spend his time in the hut, looking at all the magical marvels.
Doesn't really have like a.
And-
It doesn't have
inquiring,
a. Spa-
inquiring of the very great wizard, what illusions he knows.
All right, okay. So it doesn't have any spare beds or anything. So when you do camp for the night, it will expect you just. He'll have like beanbag kind of chairs and stuff in his sitting room, and he'll just expect you all to cramp in there. So you want to talk to him about magic, about illusion magic?
Well, I'm just interested. We gnomes like illusions, and I'll learn as much as I can from him.
Let me have a look at high level spells just to see. Well, can he teach you magic? Can you actually can't actually learn magic, eh?
No, I have some innate abilities as a gnome, but
Yeah.
gnome mages tend to specialise in illusions.
Well, the thing is, he can talk to you about spells kind of any level you want, really.
Yeah.
So if you want to know about illusion spells that are out there, it's something he can't talk about. Like,
I mean, really, it's because he's the last survivor of his city. He won't have been able to learn from the other people in the city. So,
yeah,
seeing as we're with a mage, if he can tell him about illusions, then he'll know what's needed. You know, what he might come up against in the future. So it's general conversation. I mean, if he's busy, I will kind of shut up and go and sit quietly somewhere.
No, well, being at general conversation, what it means is we don't have to roleplay him telling you about every illusion spell that he knows about. But it means when it comes up in the future, and you've got some lore check against illusion or whatever, you would remember that, and you get your bonus because you've got more knowledge because of him.
Yeah.
So however we apply it, and you know how we do, we just apply it randomly.
What do we want?
Certainly.
We make it up as we go along.
Okay.
My music stopped. How do I play all on this? Oh, I don't know. Never mind. I've got background music on Twitch, like stream safe. Yeah, okay. So in the future, whenever you're, I guess, making any kind of wisdom check or anything like that against some illusion magic, I guess we will be able to consider this extra knowledge that you have from conversation with him, because he's very friendly with you. He's very willing to share his information with you, talk to you about magic. If you're friends with Norm, then he's very forthcoming with you.
Okay. In which case, in return, if there's anything he wants to know about Deep Gnome culture, then I'll share it with him.
Cool.
Apart from that, does he need anybody to stand guard overnight, or?
No, he says he'll tell you that everything's all magically warded and protected. He's a very powerful mage, and he's not shy about that with you, like some people might be. He's modest, but he's honest. Like he'll tell you, nah, nothing can get in here. I'm safe here. Don't worry. I'm safe for a couple of miles around. It's all warded and protected. You don't have to worry about me in here. You're all safe in here. You can all sleep well tonight. You can all shut your eyes at the same time in here if you want. He'll tell you.
Thank you very much.
We have a dodgy member of the party with us.
What was that, Peter?
We haven't got the dodgy member of the party with us.
Well, that's right. Well, that depends. Unless one of you guys is hiding something, maybe you have still got a dodgy member of the party with you.
No, I'm not hiding anything anymore.
They asked me if I was dodgy. This was not agreed beforehand.
No one's accusing. There's no accusations
No, I know,
flying around.
I know.
Let me see if I can fix this. Anything else that anybody else wants to talk to the guy about for the night? 'Cause you've got a knight in his house. Very wise old man. Connected because he's Norm's friend, obviously.
I'm
Sorry,
trying
go for it,
to,
yeah.
because we've already spoken to him about the birds.
Yep. That's why he's going to Machina to talk to Norm. Because of these events.
Yeah. And if we come back to this island there and need to find out stuff about this, then we'll have discussed it with Norm.
Yeah. Well, that's the first thing he said when you mentioned things like giant eagles and all these mad things, that he had to make counsel with Norm. Him and Norm had to talk. He made that very clear to you, that that's where he was going and what he had to do. Because it's big stuff that you're telling him. Goblins and a giant and all that's big news, so.
Given that he's going to see Norm, would it actually be helpful if we escorted him there? Yes, I know he is a very great wizard, but an arrow through the eye can harm even the greatest wizard. And if he's vital to the defence of these islands, then it would behove us to keep him safe.
He's absolutely keen for you to escort him back. to Norm's. He says, I'm safe travelling by myself back to town to see Norm, but if you wish to, then I would be honoured to have you as my guard. And he's flattering to you. He's flattering and honoured, and when he says that, he's genuinely, he's being really nice to you and flattering, and he says, yeah, I would be honoured to have you protect me and guard me, and makes a big deal of it.
Darrow is concerned to get his home temple as soon as possible.
Yes,
That's
and
true.
how long a delay will it be?
Well, I think you've got about, can't remember what we said, like, I'm sure I've got a scale somewhere. Yeah, so like, what's that?
How long did it take us to travel here? Like half a day?
Yeah, I forgot I drew this, so...
Half a day?
Oh, I've done it, look, I've actually scaled the map, I forgot about this, look.
Yep.
It's done in kilometres.
Yep.
So there you go. You can work it out by the terrain and how far it is. How long it's going to take you to travel shit. I forgot I did that without that.
I bowed politely to the wizard and asked whether it would be possible for him to get a message quickly to Darrow's temple. I am aware there are magical ways of transferring messages.
Right, okay, now you would have to remind me about the high level wizard telepathic spells, and can he do them on people who are not willing and things like that. Like, can he talk to Darrow's father if he doesn't know who... Like, I've never had a 9th level, like a 20th level mage with level 9 spell, so I've never used them, so I don't know the specifics.
But Darrow's temple is on another island, yes?
Yes.
In a capital city?
Yes, under the ground.
Are there other mages
No, it's not in the capital
on that
city.
island?
It's the capital city for the dwarves. They are the capital city over all of the island, is above ground, and it's a human city.
Yep, but presumably there are mages on that island. In which case, if he's communicating mage to mage, I would imagine that they would already have some form of communication system set up.
Yes. So, let me put that map up just for a second.
So if he can contact a mage there and ask them to get a message to Darrow's temple, that should be get there a lot quicker than us just going there. I mean, I'm not saying we don't go there, but if Darrow's concerned about getting a message there as quickly as possible, that might be one way of doing it.
Absolutely. If that's a possibility, you know about the semantics of the spells. If that's a possibility, then yes, he can and would do that for you.
Yep.
I mean, there's spells like sending.
Yeah, I got a Reiki spells last week.
I mean, right. Let's go over the spells you got last week, because you want to try and learn some next. That'd be the next.
Well, I'm hoping Cornet's gonna keep me right, because I've seen a thing in chat about his spells. If it's 1 level per, so it's 28 days, 24 days. What did I all get? Because I've got it written down. Hold on. I bought blindness, and I got level 1 grease, level 2 mirror image, level 2 stinking cloud.
Ooh.
That twisting pattern one.
Hypnotic patterns.
Oh, I think that was it. 4.
I think it's hypnotic pattern. It's called.
Level 2 knock.
Oh, that's a good spell. Do you remember what that does?
Oh.
It opens locks, magical or otherwise.
Yes. Well, healing potions.
Now, you OG guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but knock, I think it levels up as you level up, and it can do like so many locks within a radius, and you cast a spell and all the locks in an area will open. Something like that. Is that right, guys?
It certainly allows you to overcome higher level wizard blocks and things like that as you go up. It's a very useful spell. Especially when your thief is more a scout than a locksmith.
A very, very handy spell, yeah, that was a big one for you guys to get, like. Very cool.
I still haven't did a non-weapon proficiency for my last level, but I can definitely choose it at the very end if somebody reminds me. Just so we're not taking time.
Remember, you don't need to. You can be saving them up because sometimes you need 3 slots to,
Yeah,
to take
okay.
something. So saving it up's a perfectly normal thing.
Okay, that's cool. I can do that then.
Like blind fighting, I think takes 2 slots. Like armorer or weaponsmith take 3.
I think there was one of mine that I gave up an extra slot for. Was there not? Or I could have gave up a slot for something.
I don't remember. I remember that
The language. I think if I had gave up an extra slot, I could have got another language.
I think you
Might be making up.
you already get certain languages with your kit as the Gypsy Bard. And I remember the Gypsy Bard, you started with like 10 non-weapon proficiencies. You did really well
I've
for
got
them at the start.
Ones like I've got good
Yeah.
ones.
But yeah, it's quite normal to save them up, because say you wanted to take armour or a weaponsmith, I think they're 3 slots. Say you wanted to take that, but you hadn't started with it, you would need 3 slots to do it. So you couldn't do it straight away, you'd have to wait another couple of levels, save another slot, wait, and then do it.
Save them and get them, and then.
So yeah, saving it's a perfectly normal thing, basically, yeah. So, no panic to spend it,
Ryan, on sending, on communication spells,
Yes.
the best I could find in the PHP
Let's study the semantics of
may
this then.
be pulled familiar with ones from other sources, but the best in the PHP is sending.
Well, there's Demand, which is an 8th level spell.
Marakai can get a spell to a mage in Silverhall. Stonehaven, there's a city there as well. There may even be a network that you can get straight to Stonehaven. But the thing is, you can't access Stonehaven, Rockholm, which is Darrow City. You don't access it from Stonehaven anyway. Although it's underneath it. So you've got this underground city of Rockholm, which is the Dwarven city, underneath Stonehaven, right? Which is the human city. But they're not connected there. You go under the ground, along the Gold Road, through the mountains, under the ground, to Silverhall, and there's a connection there. There's an underground, an underway, whatever you want to call it, from Silverhall down to the Gold Road, and that's how you get down. So he can easily get a message to Silverhall. It's the capital city of the country, so he can easily telepathically get a message to a mage there. Then it's a case of getting it from there down to Rockholm, because there'll be no mage down in Rockholm, so there'll be no way to do it even telepathically, even to like go there to there, A to B to C. Especially couldn't go A to C, but you couldn't go A to B to C because the dwarfs don't have that kind of thing set up. But you can get to Silverhall is the closest, and then someone has to get down the Gold Road, travel down underground the Gold Road to Rockholm, the Dwarven city, to get the message to your church. That's the fastest they could do.
Right, okay.
So there's no mages working with the dwarves on enchanting weapons and armour.
Now forgive me, yous aren't on the map that I'm showing you, so it'll make more sense for you now. You can look at it. Sorry guys. Ping you. So you see what I mean now? So although Rockholm is underneath Stonehaven, they're not connected there. Silverhall is connected to Rockholm by the Gold Road. Yeah? That makes sense?
Guys, I'm sorry, I'm buzzing. I can actually see all this now.
Does it make sense? Does it make sense?
Did you mean to drop us onto the smaller map?
Wrong one, sorry. I apologise again, folks.
No
Brian, I'll
problem.
give you a little hand off.
Right.
I just reloaded the page because it looked wrong. So.
No, I'm doing it too. So give us time to
Yeah, no worries.
To change your icons.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. In your own time this time, I'll not bother you.
We had I came on and David was changing his before you said, and I was like, oh, that reminds me, I'll change mine now. And then Peter came on and he said the exact same thing.
It's like it's like the only thing I ever bitch at my players about. It's like the only thing it is. So it's. Come on, guys.
Well, it obviously works in the long run.
Yeah, exactly. You
We're
guys
learning.
Yeah. No, it's just I didn't know whether there'd be any mages in Rockholm because dwarves are very good at enchanting basic weapon enchantments and armor enchantments, but if there's anything special they want to enchant it, normally they have to work with a mage to do that. So I didn't know whether they went and did it in Silverhome or in Rockholm.
Yeah, so I have more dwarven towns underneath.
Yeah.
And there's more towns and cities here that I'm going to fill in as you get closer to them. Because there's no point doing everything, but because you guys don't know about everything here, but say you head in that direction.
I don't know anything here.
I'll fill this in. If you go this direction, I'll fill this in. So it's going to be a growing map with the adventure. But I put in some major points that you would know about just now.
So is there an access to Rockholm at Rockholm, or is the only access from Silverhall?
The only access
To the back road.
The only access to above ground from Rockholm is at Silverhall, yeah.
We've got an underground gnome with us.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I don't know that area. That's not part of the Underdark. That's near the surface.
The only known one. Cause it's
right,
it's
fine.
not-
So yes, there are loads of other accesses, but they're private to the dwarves.
Well, and also, if you go down from the dwarfs, you then have the Underdark. And that's, as far as you know, Slinky Nook, that's around the whole world, isn't it? So,
Of course, it's everywhere.
yeah.
It's much bigger than above the ground. Above the ground, you've only got one level. In the Underdark, you've got lots of levels.
The sea has a ceiling in the Underdark. It's cool.
No, you've got several scenes because you've got different levels of the Underdark.
Hey, we need to go to the Underdark at one point. We've not been yet. We need to do it because that's where you're from. It'll be cool.
I'll take you home.
Don't worry. One day there will be an Underdark adventure in this Burning Stuff 2.0 campaign. I guarantee it. Guarantee an Underdark. I've never done a full-on Underdark adventure yet, so it's going to happen.
I must admit, I'm not homesick for it.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous place.
You've been in plenty of dungeons and caves since you've joined the party anyway, so...
Yes.
We need you to stay alive.
We need all of us to stay alive. Oh well, I'll just keep on finding monsters for us, shall I? Okay. Well, if the very great wizard can arrange for a message to be sent, then that will get there a lot quicker than we will.
Yeah.
So, what message do you want to be sent then, Darrow?
Oh, great, Darrow. Yeah, be clear. This is what you're going to send to your father, essentially. I guess he's the head of your church.
No.
No,
It's the separate head of the church.
was it okay? You
My mother's sort of the number two, and my father was the head of the
He was the head of
champion.
something. Ah, right. Yes. He was the first champion of the church, or something like that.
Yeah.
He wasn't the high priest. He was the head the first champion. That's right. Okay. Yeah. And is that who you're going to send the message to, directly to your father, the first champion, or are you going to send it to the high priest of the church? And did we give him a name?
I did.
Yes.
If I look at my background,
This is the first development of Rockholm in my campaign. I wanted to do it. That's why as soon as Peter said a dwarf, I was like, right, okay, are you cool with being from a certain place so we can develop it? He said yes, so this is what we've done.
okay, Darrow's father was the first champion of the church. Father Berrien is the head of the church.
Father Baron. Okay.
Oh, who's eating snacks?
But the question is, who's the message going to, Father Baron or your father?
My mother.
Your mother? I like that thinking. That's the reliable one, isn't it? Well, because your father's a champion, he might not be home, he might be out in some holy quest. I guess.
My mother's the assistant high priest.
Ah, there you go. So you're sending a message. That's who you want it to go to. And so you're going to say to Marakai, that's who it needs to get to, this message.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's easy enough for him to find out who she is. She's the second high priestess at the Church of Barrackram. Your mother.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay. So your church royalty, really.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay. So yeah, be very clear about what you want to say then to your mother.
So, I suppose I need to check that what's-her-face, Eleanor, is willing for this stuff to be discussed. How much is Eleonora willing to be sent through this way?
Well, you would have to discuss with Eleonora what you're going to say in this message to your mother then.
See, that we're simply saying that someone on the giant bird, the minimum amount would be to say that someone on the giant eagle, and I get the description of Eleonora, after the artifacts of
Barakthram.
Barakthram.
And to you, that's a great axe. It's the
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. The one that every great axe of Barakthram, your axe that you have as the champion, your father's axe that he had as champion, that they're all modelled after, that your holy icon has a picture of, or it was 3 actually, wasn't it? Yeah, that's the...
Darrow? Why, given that you can only send a short message, why not say that you found a Church of Barakthram on such and such an island? It was destroyed by this guy on this giant bird, who was apparently shouting about getting the axe of the holy weapon of Barakthram and destroying it, or using it for foul purposes or something, whatever it is.
For evil doings.
You don't need to give the details. You just need to put the church on warning.
Yeah.
When we get there, you can give them the details. Yes?
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea, because Eleonora's coming with you, so then, you know, when you're discussing it if you discuss it in person, it's more clear what's okay to say, I guess.
Yeah.
And the key things are that this person destroyed the Church of Barakthram you'd found, and was threatening to take the holy weapon of Barakthram.
Bobby.
Yeah? And that you are making your way with your colleagues to the church.
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
So, what are the semantics of the spell? How much can he say? How far can it travel? And obviously he can't do it until the next day, because he won't just randomly have a spell like that memorized.
If it's sending, it has to go to someone he knows.
Yep, he can do that. What level spell is it? I'll just look it up at the same time. Level 8.
I could do that.
Looking at the description. 25 words or less, although he could cast it more than once.
Oh, okay. What level spell is it?
Fifth.
5th. Is that
By means of this spell, the caster can contact a single creature with whom he is familiar, whose name and appearance are known.
if the creature in question is not on the same plane of existence, blah 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 blah. The wizard can send a short message of 25 words or less to the recipient. The recipient can answer in like manner immediately. Even if the sending is received, the subject creature is not obligated to act in any manner. Ah, okay, so the recipient gets an answer.
Yes.
Nice.
So you can tell whether or not he's heard it and understood it.
Yeah.
Be right back, I'm sorry.
Okay. Need to try and fix that.
So you need a message of 25 words or less, if possible, to pass it on. Unless the very great wizard's prepared to cast 2 of them.
Now, what are the material costs of a spell like that? Because at a higher level I want to consider it.
Two tiny cylinders, each with an open end connected by a short piece of fine copper wire. So material components look relatively cheap,
There's no,
to be honest.
Yeah, there's no cost to it. Okay, so it's things he can knock up as somebody that prepares spells all the time. He could have that prepared to them for tomorrow. So you could send 50 words, Or you could do 220. You would do two because you would do one, and then the guy would get a chance to reply, and then you could do another one back,
Yes.
and he would reply back as well.
So it'd be something like urgent get message, so and so rock home.
Yep.
So that would if it's two, so that would be 6 words to begin with.
Well, you've got up to 25. Write it down. Let's be specific, because if it's up to 25 words, let's write it down and be very specific. Because if it's only 25 words, it's my chance to fuck with you for not getting the right information in.
It's like the old wish spell.
Yeah,
Write down
yeah.
precisely what you're wishing for.
That's just tempting a DM, the wish spell. You shouldn't even fuck with the wish spell, eh?
Well, in my campaign, wishes are granted by demons. So you have to be very careful what you write, because demons love to twist what you say.
Well, what about genies? Do you get genies in bottles with wishes in your campaign?
A genie can cast a wish, but a wish in my campaign is effectively a summoning and binding of a demon. So there is no chance of the demon attacking you, but the demon is granting whatever you wish.
Nice. So, okay. Paul,
Very few people cast wishes.
Paul, yeah. Paul, are you checking out the...
It's not a thing that you should fuck with.
No, it's not a thing you should fuck with a wish. Like.
No.
Paul, are you checking out the macros for all the spells that you bought? Is that what you're doing?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
He's really doing all the work that I'm doing.
I'm occupying myself while things are discussed, and I listen. And if I have anything to add, I will chime in.
Okay. If you need any help, Darrow, with the message, let us know.
I cannot get my glasses to sit straight, just so they all know.
Right, hold on, guys. Are we right? I'm so sorry. Are we still at this guy's?
Here's
Just talking about this stuff.
Here's what I've started with. How many words is that?
So at Discord,
That's a dozen, isn't it?
2 seconds.
Um,
Yeah. Urgent warning. Karina Great Axe. Church under threat. Individual wants to steal artifact. Okay. And that's 12. You've got that again in the first
You
message.
want Karina Greataxe rock home.
Yeah, yeah. Better make sure that's in there. Karina Great Axe rock home.
advantage here is I can edit.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Put it in Discord first and edit it until we've fine-tuned it. But remember, you've got 2, so you can get a message across, you'll get a reply, then you've got another message with a reply.
Oh, so four messages total.
No.
Really?
You'll get to send one, and you'll get a reply. The guy that you send it to will get a chance to reply to Malachi, and then it'll be the same again. He's going to do it again, and the guy will get a chance to reply to Malachi.
So we've still got 8 words left in the first message.
Right. What have we got so far? Let me have a look at that again. We've got urgent warning, Karina Great Axe Rockhome. Church under threat. Individual wants to steal artifact. Has sacked church on Torsea. Okay.
I'm going to start trying to write that down.
That seems to be as much information as you would need, actually, in the first one. Flying on giant eagle, if you've got enough space for that, because that's some vital information, I guess. So I'll just wait and see what
That's
it's got up
20 words.
with. Right, let me see.
I've got the spelling wrong, probably.
Urgent warning, Karina Great Axe Rockhome. Enemy has sacked Church of Barrackthram on Torsea. Church under threat. Enemy wants to steal Axe of Barrackthram. Yeah, that works, eh?
Yeah.
What do you think of that, Peter?
How's that, Peter?
It's Darrow's mother, it's
How many
going
words
to.
is that?
What did you say that was 20?
I think that's 20. You could end it. Darrow coming quickly.
Darrow coming quickly.
Or Darrow returning quickly.
Returning quickly, yeah.
Yeah, we've not.
So that says who it's from as well.
Right, okay.
You haven't mentioned eagle. Not that Rockholm is very vulnerable to eagles.
No, because it's under the
No.
ground. It's not vulnerable to an attack from flying eagles at all, eh?
How about enemy wizard? We think he was a wizard. He was certainly using a staff of lightning or something.
Yeah, you're not certain, but you think.
Did he? So we can confirm with Eleanor if he used any other attack apart from the lightning.
No, he was just using lightning from some sort of staff or wand or something. He was throwing bolts of lightning and destroying the place. He wrecked a stone church. And killed some priests.
Right, I've adjusted that. 25 words. Urgent, warn Karina Greataxe Rockholm. Enemy, possible wizard, has sacked Church Barrackthram on Torsia. Church under threat. Enemy wants steal Axe Barrackthram. Darrow returning quickly.
Sounds good to me.
Does that cover what you want, but Darrow?
Yeah.
I'm going to copy that in at roll 20 so people can see that on the screen. Urgent,
I don't
warn
know
Karina
if the
Greataxe.
spelling's right.
It doesn't matter. Urgent, warn Karina Greataxe Rockholm. Enemy, possible wizard, has sacked Church of Barrackthram on Torsia. Church under threat. Enemy wants steal Axe Barrackthram. Darrow returning quickly. Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
Darrow, you happy with that?
Yeah.
Okay, remember this will be tomorrow. We've not yet spent a night because we've got spells and stuff to learn. But okay, that'll be his first message tomorrow. I guess you're not going to decide what the second message will be until you get the first reply.
Unless Paul's comment. Oh no, Paul isn't commenting on this, right?
No.
If the return message is something like Rockholm sacked by enemy wizard, then we have a problem.
Well, yes, your second one very much depends on the reply.
Yes.
Which bit's the?
Okay.
That big hand, 'cause
The very first one.
So you want to send that message to whoever his contact in Silverhall is tomorrow.
Yes, please.
Okay, done. Tomorrow it will be done.
Okay.
So
Bow politely and thank him.
what I want to know from Kiara and Cornaith is which of the spells are you going to attempt to copy into your spell books?
It depends on your decision as far as how long it takes for a spell.
What does it say in the books? Like,
In the book, it says 1 full day per spell level.
oh no. Like an hour per spell level, mate. Fuck that.
In that case, Cornaith needs a full 24 hours in total, and Kiara needs 7.
So Kiara could do overnight and still sleep a few
both of
hours.
them,
if-
yeah.
She could start now and still sleep a full night's sleep. If you wanted to do all of yours. Yeah, fuck that. A day per level, like an hour per level. To copy it into your spell book, yeah, an hour.
Yeah, that's why I was so pissed when I couldn't get the copy spell, because that's instantaneous.
Nah, 1 hour per level. I thought that's why it was in the book.
No, a book is a day per level. I was like, motherfucker, are you kidding me?
No, that does not sound like my game at all, man.
Long ass time.
Yeah, ain't nobody got time for that. 1 hour per level.
Okay. So
Awesome.
do
I love
I
you, Ryan.
busy myself doing that then?
So you can do that.
Like say that
Yeah. If
I
you,
would probably ask him if he had anywhere like outside that was sheltered that me and the bear could stay.
but he says that you're safe, like anywhere up to a mile around here. If you want to sleep in the woods, you're going to be safe here tonight. So just find wherever you want.
Sure, maybe go. I still feel hella depressed about Tegan.
So you're trying to make friends with the bear.
make the bear feel better too, because he's lost like his only animal friend. And then it's if it's quiet and it's not like if it's decent, I can like copy for as long as I can.
Well, it's not like it was late afternoonish, wasn't it? So you've got enough time to do all of that and still get a night's sleep. Paul, you need 24 hours to copy all the spells that you.
I remembered the fuck me, I'm so sorry. I remembered the other spell that I bought. It was Thinking Pattern.
Thinking pattern.
But that's what I went down.
Is it not a hypnotic pattern?
Hypnotic pattern.
I believe she got Stinking Cloud and Hypnotic Pattern.
Oh my god, I've made them. I've got them confused with each other.
Yeah, Stinking Cloud.
It's the shorthand that does it every time.
So if you want to do them, you have to make rolls. So you have a chance to learn spell, and if you fail, you can't try to learn this spell again until you level up.
Yeah. So I, blindness, I bought and copied it into my spell book. I rolled for that, and I was.
Alright. So you've already rolled the success chance.
Blindness,
I remember that. So your roll is 65%.
Yeah, if I remember right, we did the does he have them and the learning rolls all last week.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Good job we keep VODs because I don't remember.
I could very well be wrong. I know at the very least we did the
we...
does he have them rolls.
Yeah, we
obviously.
did that. We definitely did that. I don't think we did the learning of them rolls. Maybe Tammy did one, but I don't think we did because you bought quite a lot. We didn't do
I've only got I've got bought blindness, learning a spell book, and then I've got copied, and then I've got 17. I don't know what that means. But, Thinking Pattern, Grease, Mirror Image. No, it's not Hypnotic Pattern. And Stinking Cloud.
Yeah.
But I would be able to copy them all and like, can I write them down that I've got them copied now?
No, you need to make the rolls to copy them.
Oh god, right,
we didn't do that. I'm sure we didn't do that. So you need to roll a percentage dice and it's 65% or less to succeed on each one. You've got to roll for each spell. So say which one you're doing, and then you roll.
Sorry, excuse me, are these D100?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
We also have to work out how many pages it takes in your spellbook.
Hmm?
We also have to work out how many pages it takes in your spellbook. That's a roll as well. You can do that later though.
No, for Tammy, you decided hers didn't take pages because she's a bard,
Oh,
not a
that's
wizard.
right. Yeah. She doesn't do all the magical incantations and everything. It's just scribbled notes. So yeah. It's fine. So you only need to roll the chance to learn.
So we'll roll that now?
Yeah, if you want. If you're gonna try to learn them tonight, like in the woods with the bear, then yeah, you need to. So you have to name each spell as you're doing it. Just say, right, this one's for Hypnotic Pattern, etc., and then roll it, just so we know which rolls for which.
Okay, this one is for Grease.
Okay, this is one of my favourite spells. Failed.
Oh.
So you can't try to learn Grease again until the next level, and your scroll is consumed in the attempt. Succeed or fail. So you take that scroll off your inventory.
Okay.
That 100 gold pieces, that's went up in the air. That was a fail. So what's next?
Right, next one is Mirror Image.
Okay, this is a good one as well. Like, there you go. You've got that.
Yes.
So your scroll disappears. Again, it's success or fail. The scroll is used up, but you now copy that into your spellbook, and you can memorize that spell.
Okay, right, spellbook. Yes. Thinking Cloud is the next one, which I kind of really want to get now because of.
Okay, so 65 or under, and you get it.
46. Did that go in?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
So you get that one. So again, the scroll disintegrates into dust, but you manage to put notes into your spellbook, and you can memorize and cast that spell.
Okay, the next one is Hypnotic Pattern.
Nice. Success. So you can add that to your spell book as well.
Oh, I'm pleased with that one.
Is that all?
Yeah, yes, because I've done blindness. It's grease though.
Okay. Yeah, you didn't get grease. So, if you get another scroll, or you get a copy out of someone's spellbook, you will have another chance to learn it at your next level up.
Okay.
You can't make another attempt to learn that until your next level up. You need 15 hours to copy spells. 'Cause you can't.
Yeah, because I forgot I can't do the level 3 until I'm actually able to cast them.
Okay. But you don't really have 15 hours to spare and get a night's sleep. You could do it tonight and not get a night's sleep. It means you won't get to memorise any more spells, because that's included in your memorising spells. You have to get sleep as well.
Did you cast any spells yesterday?
We may not have, actually.
No, so I mean, I still have memorized what I had before we got here.
Still have an arsenal, yeah, so you don't need that time to memorise anymore.
And he only needs 4 hours sleep because he's an elf.
Yes.
Actually,
Let me know if you need less sleep.
No, you're a half elf. It's different.
Okay, the good bit.
I could actually go with less if I chose to.
You can go without sleep for one night, but you suffer penalties and stuff in combat and that the next day. You have a -1 to your armor class, -1 to your attack rolls, reaction rolls, surprise rolls.
No, they
4 hours.
they have that ability to put themselves in that that trance that actually counts as sleep but isn't really sleep.
Is that grey elf or elf?
Elves in general,
Elves in
that reverie or whatever it's called.
Yeah. And you can do that at any level.
Yeah, it's actually part of their physiology.
Nice. So
So he needs to take 4 hours for that. And then the rest of the night.
yeah. But
He could.
you still need 15 hours to learn all those spells, so you can maybe do a couple there.
Right, but before we even decide on how long I need to copy them all, we should see if I'm actually able to learn them.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Go ahead.
96% or less is what I need.
So you should be nailing all of them.
Well, maybe. Alright, chromatic orb.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that was close.
Identify.
Almost didn't get that one. There you go. Identify you have. That's very handy.
Find familiar.
You have. Ooh, I love that
Mount.
spell. Mount.
Protection from hunger and thirst.
Nice.
Alright, so I got all the level 1s.
Nice.
And then Mel's Acid Arrow,
Nice.
Knock,
Nice.
Darkness,
Nice.
Strength,
Nice.
and Summon Swarm.
Oh, you
But,
failed.
hey, I had to fail one.
You failed.
You
Right.
didn't get strength.
Now, Tammy, what I must remind
Didn't
you.
get Summon Swarm.
What I must remind
Oh,
you.
and summon form. Okay, you got strength. Right, okay.
What I must remind Tammy for Kiara is that you can also, as well as learning spells from your scrolls that you bought, you can copy spells from his spellbook once he's learned them, if he lets you. Same goes for he can copy spells from you as well. But that always is going to take more time.
Yeah, I think I do remember this because I think we said when we had
I think you've done it
time.
before.
Yeah.
You
Right, so now I only need 13 hours to copy the spells that I've managed to learn.
Yeah. Because you didn't get, what was it, Summon Swarm?
Yeah,
God.
I mean, that's okay. I'm okay with that.
And you had 4 hours of rest. So how much time is there?
Well, we're saying you're on late afternoon to evening. That's why Kiara could just about get away with it. 7 hours plus a rest. Perhaps.
In that case, he can do 11 hours.
Yeah.
I'll rest because this rests 4 hours less.
So if you guys don't leave first thing in the morning, like first thing in the morning, then you can go. You'll be able to do it. All of them. But then for Kiara to copy more from him and vice versa, it's going to take a different time because...
Yeah, we can do that when we have more time though, because
Yeah. For him to
I
get
think that one
these...
of the-
On the boat, presumably. Possibly time waiting for the boat.
Yeah. Well, you definitely will be going on a boat if you're travelling from this island to the
Yeah.
next. There's no airplanes, so...
we could jump on a big ass bird.
Well, yeah, someone did.
I got it.
Okay, so if we really want to get into the huge bookkeeping, it's about 4 p.m. So
Yep.
5 hours is 9 p.m. That lets him
Yep.
copy all his first levels.
Yep.
Sleep for 4 hours. He wakes up at 1 a.m. 9 a.m. is where he has the rest of them copied in his book.
There you go.
Not really a huge chunk of time. It's
No.
actually pretty doable with everything we have planned as it is.
Yeah, works for me.
Okay.
As I'm so sorry, I have a horrible throat tonight.
Don't worry about it. Mine's is always bad. Smoker's cough. Let's go.
Oh, coughing over years.
So,
Okay.
everybody has plans for the evening. Kiara's going out with the bear to rest somewhere outside. The rest of you are going to rest in here, I guess.
Yes, although presumably Grenade has to find somewhere he can have light without waking everybody up.
Yeah, for the reading and the studying. But he's using 4 hours for reverie, so he doesn't need a full sleep. But yeah, so he's going to be studying somewhere. He'll find a corner where he can use a candle or whatever. I'm sure in this guy's house there's a nice quiet corner for studying a spell. This guy is a mage and a sage. The rest of you are just resting. Darrow, you will be praying for spells, I imagine.
Yes, I'll be praying routinely. I don't think I cast anything either.
Okay. Sninkanook is conversing with Marakai about illusions and illusion magic. Yeah? And then... Okay, so, Kiara, you sleep out in the woods uneventfully. You get to do all your studying, put those spells into your spell book, except the one you failed. And you can rest somewhere, whether it's under a tree or you find a small cave or whatever.
Yeah, we've got bedrolls.
You've got bedrolls, so nothing bothers you in the night. Like Marakai said to you, you're safe here. Nothing bothers you at all. Nothing sniffing around. You and the bear get to have a peaceful night outside. The rest of you have a peaceful night. The rest of you have a peaceful night at Marakai's house. Cornaith, you get to do your studying in peace. You find a quiet corner and where you can cast candlelight without bothering everybody else. The night passes uneventfully. By 9 o'clock in the morning, Cornaith, you've rested enough and had enough time to copy all those spells. Everybody else is rested.
One thing, I don't want to copy Find Familiar into my spell book.
No?
I decided I'd just rather read the scroll.
Well, you can only cast it once anyway, isn't it? Oh well, you only cast it once unless
if
you're
it
familiar
dies.
with eyes. Yeah. It's you want it to be a one-time casting generally.
Right,
You're hoping
and this
it's a
way it
one-time
doesn't take up pages in the spell book.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
One less hour then studying for you.
Yes.
And then you just have to make sure it doesn't get killed. Otherwise, you lose. Is it still losing hit points in second ed when your familiar dies, or?
No, system shock or you die.
Is it system shock or you die? I thought it was like you lose a constitution point or something. I never realised it was that harsh. Is it?
I'm almost
No way,
positive.
right, let's
Yes,
have a look.
you If the familiar dies, the wizard must successfully roll an immediate system shock check or die.
Right.
Even if he survives this check, the wizard loses a point from his constitution.
There you go. So,
Gosh, that's a lot worse.
yeah, it's serious, eh? So, when are you planning on casting that? Because I'm quite curious now.
I mean, he just plans on reading the scroll first thing in the morning.
Oh, nice. Okay, so night
So-
passes, it's first thing in the morning.
I think you'd be better finding an alchemist and getting him to create a homunculus for you.
So, it's up to
In
you, Ryan.
actual fact, that's quite cunning.
No,
If you can charm an enemy wizard to cast Find Familiar and then kill his familiar,
you can kill him.
It's horrible. Don't do that to people.
That's clever. That's very clever. That's definitely. What's your alignment?
anything is okay when you're dealing with drow.
What's your alignment? I need to check. Cause when your character has thoughts like that, I need to keep track of that. Because I keep
Okay.
track of your alignment. Because you don't decide your alignment, your gameplay
Nope,
decides
true.
your alignment. What's it say in your sheet just
Hang on,
now?
I've closed my character sheet up. That was silly of me. 1 second, I'll open it up again.
I
know that was
forget that I have
50
to play
I think
character.
was it neutral good, something like that? Lawful neutral.
Lawful neutral. Okay, that wasn't a very lawful neutral throw. I'll bear it in mind. But it was more David. It was more David than Sneaky Nook. But I'll still bear it in mind. We are role playing.
Oh yes, yes.
Right. So first thing in the morning then. I want to know because it's first. Anyway, we've done everything for the night, so it is first thing in the morning. So are you want to cast that scroll?
Yes. Would you like to roll the d20 or would you like me to?
Where's the table so I can put it up on screen?
I have it on Purple Worm.
Yep. Where about?
Player's Handbook, Wizard Spells, first level, Find Familiar.
There we go. Right, roll it.
Alright.
7. A crow. Right, so we need to read the
Nice.
spell out now. So the spell enables the caster to attempt to summon a familiar to act as his aided companion. Familiars are typically small creatures such as cats, frogs, ferrets, crows, hawks, snakes, owls, ravens, toads, weasels, or even mice. A creature acting as a familiar can benefit a wizard conveying its sensory powers to its master, conversing with him, and serving as a guard, scout, spy as well. A wizard can have only one familiar at a time, however, and he has no control over what sort of creature answers summoning, if any at all come. The creature is always more intelligent than others of its type, typically by 2 or 3 intelligence points, and its bond with the wizard confers upon it an exceptionally long life. The wizard receives the heightened senses of his familiar, which grants the wizard a +1 to all surprise dice rolls. Normal familiars have 2 to 4 hit points, plus 1 hit point per caster level, and an armor class of 7 due to their size and speed. So you've got a crow with AC 7, 2d2 hit points,
6 hit points.
plus your level. Yep. The wizard has an empathic link with the familiar, can issue it mental commands at a distance of up to 1 mile. Note that empathic responses from the familiar are generally fairly basic. While able to communicate simple thoughts, these are often overwhelmed by instinctual responses. Thus, a ferret familiar spying on a band of orcs in the woods might lose its train of thought upon sighting a mouse. Certainly, its communications to its master would be tinged with fear of the big ones it was spying on. The caster cannot see through the familiar's eyes. Ah, wait, so the caster cannot see through the familiar's eyes, right? So let's go back to this. Conveying... A creature acting as a familiar can benefit a wizard, conveying its sensory powers to its master. So, yeah, so you get a +1 on all your surprise die rolls because of the heightened senses of the familiar, but you don't see through its eyes, right? Okay, that's important. But
Right.
it can see and tell you in its basic animal +2 intelligence thoughts. So it can send
And
you...
I believe if you wanted to get into all that technical shit, my vision would improve by 1 class.
Yeah.
not my infravision. You know,
Sensory.
that
Oh,
would
here,
only be with, like,
here.
cat.
It's down here. Look, sensory powers. Crow. Excellent vision. It's on the table.
Right.
So, you get excellent vision. So, excellent vision. That's not very specific. So I guess you get your infravision goes further. I guess. Nah, because it's distance vision, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, because if you look, the cat and the owl get improved night vision. So I don't
right,
think
yeah, yeah.
a crow would affect
So it's not your
infravision.
infravision. It's not your infravision. You've got improved vision. So what? Just increased visibility over distance. You can see better. I don't know what. The actual
I guess
maths
it
for
would
that'll be.
be up to your determination.
Yeah,
You know, I
yeah.
guess I would be able to spot things a little further away, or
Yep.
maybe notice things a little bit better now. I don't know.
Yep. I'll give you a bonus on perception checks when looking at things as well, I suppose. For spotting things.
Sounds fair to me.
Yep, sounds fair to me as well. What do we think, guys? It only just says excellent vision and doesn't give you any details, so bonus on his perception checks with vision. Sees detail further. We'll work out the fine details if and when we have to. Sounds good to me. So, when does it come? Does it come straight away?
I don't know. It's not very clear on that.
Wait, because it's very clear on this. When the wizard decides to find a familiar, he must load a brass brazier with charcoal. When this is burning, well, he adds 1,000 gold pieces worth of incense and herbs. The spell incantation is then begun and must be continued until the familiar comes or the casting time is finished. The DM secretly determines all results. Note that most familiars are not inherently magical.
The range is 1 mile per level.
Yep.
So what's your level, Cornaith?
4?
Fourth.
4
Okay.
mile range.
So since one was found, it's somewhere within 4 miles.
Yep.
So it's how long does it take to fly that distance? Because it's a crow,
Yeah, not long
it's
at all.
quite quick. If you'd come up with a toad,
It might
that
be
would
a
have
while
taken
for it to travel
a lot
4
longer.
miles, yeah. So I'll say you'll get it almost instantly when you cast a spell, but you're going to have to burn 1,000 gold pieces worth of incense and herbs. I'm not using the what's the word? Material components in spells unless it matters, and here it matters.
Now, does it matter because this is a scroll that the spell is already on? Or
It's a scroll.
is there a difference?
You're right. Yeah, it's a scroll. It's a scroll. But I would say
but that just means that you're casting it.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
has the power of the spell.
Yeah,
you
you
still
still
need
have-
to
yeah,
have
you're
all the components, etc.
for this
You're
one.
casting
yeah.
it from the scroll rather
Now-
than memory.
Now, the only argument that I have for that is Kiara could read a scroll of Fireball, and the spell would cast with no material components, if
Yeah.
we were using material components for
true,
everything.
Yes,
But I'm not
yes,
for
true.
everything. I'm not for everything though.
But under those circumstances, I suspect if you then look at stuff about scribing scrolls, you'll find that the scroll would then cost 1,000 GP more.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she wouldn't be able to buy this for he wouldn't be able to buy this for 100 GP. So this is only a 100 GP scroll. This doesn't have
right. So this is a transcribed scroll rather than a casting scroll.
the. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
In
so
this case,
then
in
in
this
that
case.
case, I will have to wait and make sure that I can afford to buy the incense and stuff.
Yeah. Because we did
But
spend
this
all that
was
money, didn't
this
we?
was good to know for the future.
How much money did we spend last week? Loads, eh?
Lot, yeah.
You got 10,000 gold from the smut
We're
dealers.
falling.
You got 10,000 from the smut dealers, but you bought loads of stuff. Stinky Nuke, you
Yeah.
bought 2 +1 swords, right?
I bought the +1 swords and the +1 bow.
Wow.
Nice, Ben.
Unfortunately, after the swords, I had the money that I could have given to Cornaith, but well, no, actually, I had 350 gold, which I gave to Cornaith to buy spells.
That's right.
That he did not accept because he could afford all of his spells that he wanted.
In that case, here is 350 gold towards the incense.
For your familiar.
It is not enough to make a difference. It won't allow me to use it, so I will politely decline.
Okay, well, it's here if you need it, Great Wizard.
If it were enough to make it that it could be used right this moment, then I would most graciously accept it. But it's not, so I have to decline.
Okay, so
That's polite.
so you'll need to get 1,000 gold pieces worth of incense first, and also use up the
Yes.
scroll.
Darrow could make it up.
No. Darrow's offering.
That's
That's
350 from Stinky Nook, 650 from Darrow. That should be enough, Great Wizard.
okay, but
If the very Great Wizard's prepared to sell you the incense, because I'm sure he has it in stock.
yeah.
I'll buy an incense.
For a Find Familiar spell, yes, it's a common material for him.
We just buy incense off the guy anyway.
Yeah, you can, because he's got enough to make up 1,000 gold pieces worth for a spell component, so he definitely has a lot of incense.
So I will reduce my money by 650.
And there you've got 1,000 gold pieces to buy enough incense for Cornaith to cast the Find Familiar. There you go.
If it
So-
means anything, Ryan, in your free assets, there's actually a familiar section with a raven.
Oh yes. So, the power of the conjuration is that it can be attempted but once per year. When the wizard decides to find a familiar, he must load a brass brazier with charcoal. And Malachi will have this in his pad. When this is burning well, he adds 1,000 gold pieces worth of incense and herbs. You can buy these off Malachi, no problem. The spell incantation is then begun and must be continued until the familiar comes or the casting time is finished. The DM secretly determines all results. Okay. Casting time is 2d12 hours, and I've got to roll that secretly. Right, so let's say it comes immediately. What are you going to call your crow? I'm going to find the token. Where is it?
It's in your free
Free asset.
assets. There's a section called familiars and something, and there's a raven token in there.
Familiars, where are you? I don't see it.
Well, I know what Cornaith is going to be casting Mage Armor on first.
I don't see familiars,
And
mate.
second.
I don't see familiars in the free assets. Dungeon Master
It's-
Essentials. Oh, familiars and summons found it. Sorry.
Yeah,
I do
it's
see
number
it, mate.
6.
I do see it, mate. I'm a dickhead. I apologise, Paul.
No, you're good.
You're clever and I'm stupid. So, where is it? I've used this before, actually, for a familiar, because somebody had a ferret. Oh, wait. Oh, there it is, look. Right, okay.
It's right above the second fairy dragon.
Yeah, so we need to... Right, so, people, this is how Roll20 works. Anyone that's watched on Twitch. So we need to make a character for this. Actually, we need a character sheet first.
Oh my god, he's so cool.
Paul, add him to... Do his hit points and everything on your character sheet under the familiars and followers section.
Yep,
We
already
will
done it.
make him a character sheet here. What's his name?
I have not thought that yet.
Nevermore?
Call him Jake.
What did you say? Nevermore?
Nevermore.
Because he's
yes.
a raven. Nice, nice literature reference. I like it. Edgar Allan Poe. So I will give. So if you see what I'm doing, I'm putting Paul Cornaith. So you can edit and control the character sheet. I'll put that just now. You can change it later if you want. Do you want to call him Nevermore? Make it a raven instead of a crow, just for flavour. You know how much I love flavour. What's his hit points? What's his hit points, Paul?
6.
What's his tackle?
His AC was 7. Give me a second and I'll find it for you.
We'll put class familiar.
Depends what-
This is all you really need. Is this weapon? What does he attack with? His bite or his talons?
Alright, so
You're not
a
gonna use-
raven,
You're not
a
gonna use
raven
it,
has
are you?
a tackle of 20.
Yep.
It has 1 attack that does 1 damage.
1. Okay. What's its size? Because that affects its speed. It'd be 1 actually. There you go.
Its speed is 1 walking, 36 flying.
Yeah, I meant its initiative speed. Its initiative speed will be 1. So. So. Now we need to get the token, and that. Right, what's his name? Nevermore. That goes on him.
Maverick.
Oh yeah, you're gonna change it to Maverick, right? You can change this after anyway.
Small creatures are a
Is it-
+3, a modifier to initiative.
What did you? Yeah. What did you say his? So it'd be 0 actually. I'll change it to 0. So what did you say his hit points was? Sorry. Oh wait, no, I can do
6.
it here. I can do it here. Look, hit points. It's up here. There you go. This is Deco. This is how you make a character sheet. PC Deco. Oh, I've not changed that yet.
Let's see, look at that. You get to show the viewers how complicated but simple it is to make
It's not
tokens
complicated,
and
so
sheets.
So that likes his armor class. Right, we need to go back to the sheet. I'll save that just now. It's here, 20. So that we'll save that. So change that. Yep, so that should save to 20. So we go to advanced. We want name, C, bar 1, C, visible to everyone. C. That should be it. So everybody sees its health bar. Yep, okay. Now I need to get another character to make it the right size. So it's going to be tiny. That's it.
You know, seriously suggests that you cast mage armor on this.
That's it, ready. It's got its character sheet. We're going to change its name, but you do that within the character sheet and it should link. So, what are we going to call it?
Maverick.
Maverick. How do you spell it?
Maverick.
So Maverick. So if I do that, this, I need to, right, so basic, Maverick, name, you have to change this, right, Maverick, show nameplate is ticked, there you go. So you now have that, you move that to there, followers and animals. So Paul, you should have access to the sheet and you should be able to pull over the token wherever you want. It makes it kind of big though. Wait. Right,
Yeah,
okay.
you can adjust the size before you link it.
No, I'm not finished. What I need to do, so I need to get this token. Now that this token's ready, we go back to the sheet, edit, delete that because that was the not ready token, and then you select the token. That's the one that we've built. Now it's linked. So when you pull them across, delete them. When you pull them across, now it should be the right size and have the right hit points and everything attached. There you go. So I've made you a character sheet and token for your familiar. Yeah?
Awesome, thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, he is ready.
We just need to keep him out of the way of any giant crocodile tails.
Whoa.
As you can see, he's a flock. Sorry, I couldn't resist. That's awesome, Ryan. I love the size, thank you.
Nice, huh?
Oh, what the hell happened with the arrows?
That was me playing.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I pulled out a bunch of Raven tokens and then, boxed them and waypointed them so that they moved around.
Nice, so he's ready. You've got a Raven instead of a Crow, and he's called Maverick. Even though we were going to call him Nevermore to be a Raven, we changed it and he's called Maverick, but he's still a Raven, okay? He's got his hit points, his stake, everything attached to his sheet, so we can put him in initiative if we have to, if he gets into a battle. But he's ready.
Yeah, no, he won't be getting into fights.
Okay. Right, any more business for the morning before you do... Now, you were... you were going to accompany him back, weren't you? You've sent.
Yes, we're escorting him
Oh,
back to.
and also the message gets sent this
Sending
morning.
was the first
Yeah,
spell.
the
first
casting
thing.
of send, the casting of sending, and he's going to send that message to Darrow's mother. So let's read that again.
No, to someone
Yeah,
who can
sorry, yeah.
send a message to
He's
Darrow's
sending it to
mother.
his mage contact in Silverhall to get this. He's sending this message to his mage contact in Silverhall. Urgent, warn Karina Greataxe, Rockholm. Enemy, possible wizard, has sacked Church Barracktram on Torsea. Church under threat. Enemy wants to steal Axe of Barracktram. Darrow returning quickly. So he will cast the spell sending. He will telepathically send this message to someone you don't know, but his contact, whoever it is in Silverhall, and he will await a reply. Okay, so I guess a short time only will go by before he gets his response. So when he gets he'll get a response telepathically. All of a sudden, he'll be like, you know, his expression will change. 2 seconds. His expression will change, and he will say, "Ah, okay, I've had a reply," and the reply would be, "Message received. Information heading to Karina Greataxe right away."
Okay. Hello.
That's it.
Hello, X the wizard.
Now remember, he memorized it twice, so he can send another reply if you wish to.
Thank you.
Whether he wishes to cast a spell to say thank you.
Yeah, I don't think it's
Not a wise use, no.
it's a bit frivolous. Yeah, it's a bit frivolous. I don't think he's going to.
Yeah.
We can always send a message to Norm to say that he's coming to see him. Because he knows Norm, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
He's memorised the spell, and I don't think you'll find any other use for it today.
Yeah.
So you can send a message to Norm saying, get whatever his favourite lunch is ready, and we'll see him about lunchtime, or however long it is, or for dinner.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Up to him.
He's willing to cast it because he's memorised it. He's willing to cast it for you. He's got not going to have another use for it. So unless you've got any other message, unless you've got an important message, he's not going to cast it. He's going to go and see Norm anyway, in person. He's not going to warn him about that he's coming for a visit. He's just going to go.
Okay.
Okay. You head that away.
Okay. So you're all heading that way, but then you're heading that way.
No, we're escorting him.
Oh,
to
you are.
back
Yeah,
to
you're
Norm.
escorting him, right? Okay. So, how far was it? We've got this map is actually marked out, isn't it? So, 6 kilometers through the woods, 11.5 kilometers. So what's that? Most of the day travelling, eh?
Mhm.
Back to Machina. And you're going with him when he goes to see Norm, or are you just going to escort him back to town and then?
I think we will see Norm in case Norm wants to question us.
Okay, so I'll put up just the Machina Arms for now. Then you don't have to necessarily go there. You wouldn't probably necessarily have to go there to see Norm, but I'll put that as a map just now anyway. Now, if you bear with me a second, I think I have tokens for both Norm and Marakai somewhere, maybe. I do, actually.
I can't see. It's Kiara. Oh, there she is. She's over the other part of the room.
In the corner still.
Yeah.
Man. I wish this was like Baldur's Gate and you got the hit points that your familiar has.
Mm.
Yes.
There you go.
You don't risk death in Baldur's Gate with first ed, do you?
No. So there you go. Marakai and Norm Thistleton in the Mission Arms. If you want to do it there, they're friends. They'll have a drink when they meet to discuss events and what's going on. So yeah, they can do it at the Mission Arms.
Okay.
And I guess he would want to have some time, just him and Norm alone first. If you guys are going to have a conversation with the two of them, he would want to speak to Norm first alone at least.
Because now we've come here, we haven't got time to get to the Port Ellesmere to...
Not today, no.
Oh.
You spent most of the day travelling, so it'd be night time now. You'd have to stop to eat.
Yeah, and then tomorrow we set out early.
Yeah, so you come back to the inn. Norm is going to have a meeting with Marakai alone in private first, but then they're willing to talk with you both of them. So what do you guys want to do anything while they have a chat in private? While you're here at the bar? Well,
Yeah, I'll
in
just
the
have
tower?
a drink, please.
Okay. Anyone
Yeah.
else got anything in particular to do besides have a drink?
Oh,
I
spell. Corny.
Oh yeah, but you would do that overnight.
Alright, okay.
I mean-
That's what I thought you were hinting at.
Nah, what I mean is right now in the evening time, before inviting you all to come and sit with them, Marakai and Norm, we'd want to have just some time alone talking. So is there anything in particular you'd want to do besides just kind of hang out in the bar and have a drink? That's all. If
No.
no, then no. Okay, so after some time, Norm and Marakai would invite you to go and sit with them.
Right. We do so. And if they have any questions,
Well, Norm would just at first. Norm would say, "So, Darrow, what is the plan?"
I'm headed back. And unless there's any evidence of there being yet another Church of Barrackram, I'm headed back to my home church to help if necessary with the defence.
So you think this madman is after the axe at Rockholm? This is Norm will say this to you.
Because I don't know of anything else he can be. I don't know of anywhere else. He definitely mentioned the artifacts.
Yes, but this elf Eleonora believes that her sacred sword is the artifact of Barrackram, just as you believe that your sacred axe is. So there's some confusion as to whether there is perhaps more than one, and that he is seeking to get the more than one.
What she reported him as saying
Was
was in
artifacts?
plural.
Yeah. Was the plural?
So
Yes.
we, unless there is another branch of the church on this island that I've not heard of,
Then you found what you were looking for.
yes.
So you are returning back, but you have reported through Marakai, because Marakai's discussed this with Norm, that your church is under threat from, you believe, a madman seeking the great axe
Yes.
for evil intent. You've sent the message, which is on its way, but you're also on your way.
Yes.
Norm will ask you, is there anything I can help you with? Can I get you anything you need? This seems very important, Darrow, and it seems that you and your companions here have been tasked with something very important here, and you have a very vital quest.
Unless you know of a captain you can recommend, or possible a list of captains you can recommend, because one of them might be at sea.
Yes, I do. Captain Bob sells my lumber and my timber. He's my trading boat captain. He takes the stuff from Helmsere to Panthea and beyond. He is normally he's back and forward from Panthea to Panthea Minor, unless he's going on a longer trip. If you go to Helmsere, you want to get on the boat of Captain Bob. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's Bob B-A-W-B, not Bob B-O-B, B-A-W-B, Bob.
Right.
Like Bobble, I guess. No, that's a U, actually. Never mind.
Yeah. I would say, unless there's...
That's his guy. You'll get on his boat for free if you go with... He'll make you up. He'll write a letter and he'll seal it like he's done before. He's got his own seal, like a lord does. He has his own, not royal, but he's got his own seal that he puts on his letters with wax and that. He'll do that and he'll give you a letter to take to Captain Bob. So you won't pay anything for the journey and he'll take you to Helmsere. From Helmsere to Panthea.
Yes, I'll thank him. But I can't think of anything else that's...
At this time of the year, Captain Bob will just be going back and forward between the two islands, he'll tell you. This is what Norm will say. So you'll just have to wait the maximum of him going there and coming back, and then he'll be going again.
How long does the journey take? Davo having done it already.
I don't think I've synced up the other map, but let me have a look at it.
Obviously, Davo being a dwarf living underground, and then the concept of there being currents and the wind may be affecting the journey times may not be something that he'll think out.
Well, the distance from Messina to Helmsere, now I'll pop your... I haven't synced up the distance like I did on the other map, but I could still show you. It'll say in feet, but no, forget that. So, ping to here, where are we? Select move, ping to here. If we use this, if we say Messina to Helmsere, we can measure that properly on the other map, but that's 41 feet on this, right? So Helmsere Port to Helmsere Port is 53, so it's like a little bit over Messina to Helmsere again. So, if we go back to this map, this one was measured out. That was 20 kilometres. So it's about 25 kilometres by sea. The sea journey is about 25 kilometres.
Sounds... It might be doable in a day then, I can't...
Yeah, I think pretty easily in a day, and unless there's contrary winds.
Yeah, definitely. A day there, a day back. No doubt. I need to think
and then
of that.
we'll have the overland journey where Davo will be familiar with the route.
Yep. Now, if I do this, shouldn't take too long actually to fix this. So page, right, 70 pixels is... Try this.
While we're still at the inn, Schninkinit will bow politely to Norman the wizard and ask whether there are any tales of the Church of Barracktham, as to whether there are any tales of more than one version of it.
Oh, look. I synced this up, look. So, I'll put you guys back on this map. Managed to sync that up pretty quickly. So, come down here. If you measure this up now, it's roughly correct. So, 41 kilometres. In fact, it's bang on, look.
Yeah.
So.
I thought you said it was 20 kilometres.
Oh, yeah, I did. So, I need to half that. Right, it's okay.
Yep.
Thank you. So, it's fine. So, that's 2.5.
Excuse me, sorry.
That should be it now. There we go. So this map is correct now.
Oh.
So you can work out the long distance, how long it takes.
And then there's that long overland journey where the white thing is presumably a road.
That's the Silver Road, yeah. It's days of travelling. Days of travelling by road.
What's that place?
Much bigger island. What place? This one.
Up to the northeast.
The red.
No. Up to the northeast. If you follow the Silver Road to the northeast, there's
Yeah.
a town just off the coast.
Asanda.
Yeah.
There's
Why couldn't we be dropped off on the coast there?
it's not on the
and join
coast.
the road there?
Nah, that isn't on the coast.
I know, but why can't we be dropped off on the coast there and then make our way inland to the Silver Road?
Well, you need to ask
And that-
you need to ask
and that
Captain
was-
Bob that question.
Yes. Well, it may well be it's not possible, but it would save us that long road journey, wouldn't it? It would
Yes.
speed up Darrow's trip home.
Yeah, it would it'd possibly take like half a day off
Or even better, go even further north to Asker. Is
Where's
Asker
that?
a port?
Where's that? I can't even see it.
Right up at the north, to the due east from Silverhill, or
No,
whatever it's Silverhall.
no, it's not a port.
But we could be dropped off at the coast there.
Yep. You'd have to speak to Captain Bob
Hopefully.
about this.
We will have to speak to Captain Bob.
Yep.
Yes, but either of those options would cut the
Yes.
journey down.
That would cut your journey down significantly by road anyway, depending
Yes.
on what the sea's like coming all the way around here.
Oh, it'll be a longer sea journey, but it's a lot quicker travelling by sea than it is by road.
So you're talking like, and I can't even move the screen up while I'm holding. Never mind. Well, if I zoom out, I can do it. Hang on.
Well, it's 25 kilometres direct. If we go around the coast, it would either be 110 kilometres to the first place,
Yep.
or 165 to the second.
Yep. There you go. So you've got options if you want to talk to Captain Bob.
Yeah.
No one says you have to go to where.
And the Silver Road doesn't come that close to the coast in Belfast.
At Rockholm, at Stonehaven, it's a good 12 kilometres away from the coast, yeah.
But we don't know an access to Rockholm, so we'd have to go all the way up the Silver Road to Silverhall and then back.
The only access to Rockholm is from Silverhall,
Yes.
underground in the Gold Road.
Yeah.
So you have to get to Silverhall, really. You're not aiming for Rockholm, you're actually aiming for Silverhall, because that's the only way to get to Rockholm.
Yeah.
So Aska is that. In fact, that is a port, if I remember correctly. I have to look at my folder, but Aska is a port. I've just not drawn it close enough on the map. Aska is a port, but that's not where he goes. He goes to Helmsere. Helmsere to Helmsere. But you can speak to Captain Bob when you see him,
Yes.
because he does this journey back and forward, one day and then back the next day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's go back to the Machine Arms for now.
I love that one place's name, Funberg.
Yeah, man. I don't know where I come up with the names, like, to be honest. This is
That's great, man. That's great.
these were all named 5, 6, 7 years ago, I think. Apart from Helmsere, I just changed that. I made that Helmsere to go with Helmsere for this campaign, actually. Because I have to change little bits. Anyway, yeah, so that is the route, but you would have to talk to Captain Bob. Those are your options, but Captain Bob goes back and forward. I guess you can talk to other guys in ship and port, but his contact is Captain Bob going back and forward to Panthea, the short route, Helmsere to Helmsere.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Well, as I said, I will ask Norm and Marakai whether they have heard any tales of more than one version of the Church of Barrack.
I think I've already asked Marakai.
Oh.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
Yeah, well, he was quite not an atheist, but not a fan of the gods, and he doesn't like to take any interest in the churches or what's going on.
So whether... So there's two other churches in town, aren't there?
Yeah.
There's the one with Norm's friend, which we've done with business with.
Marcus at the Church of Cord.
Yeah. There may be a church of Pelor or something as well.
It's not Pelor, it is a church of... So it's Marcus at the Church of Cord and... Oh, it is a church of Pelor. Sorry, Peter. You were correct. It was the Church of Pelor.
Because that was partially, I was thinking, oh, that's a god of healing, and I was surprised we were going to Marcus at Cord. But
Yep, that's correct. It is the Church of Pelor. And I've got the name of the High Priest there written down as well. High Priestess, actually.
So we could ask them if they've heard of any other church of Barrack Thram.
Okay, so Marcus at the Church of Cord and whoever's at the Church of Pelor.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it was the bard we bumped into who directed me to Torcia in the first place, wasn't it?
Garrick. You've never seen him again, have you?
No.
Curious.
Well, why not ask Norm and Malachi if they've come across that bard?
Marakai and Norm would say that they've not seen him back in town. Marakai's not been in town, sorry. So Marakai's not bumped into him in his cabin in the woods. Norm's not bumped into him here in the bars and shops in town or in his sawmill where he works. No. They've not seen Garrick again. And they know nothing about the Church of Barrack Thram, this dwarven thing, and what's going on, and that there was supposedly another church on the island. Everyone around is oblivious to it. Garrick was the only one that had heard anything about it, and no one's seen him again.
Yeah.
Well, I've not seen him.
You never seen him.
No.
Darrow's the only one that met him back in the day. About session 1 of the campaign, I think.
Yeah.
And he's never been back.
So, yeah, we'll go looking.
You're going to try the two churches? Bless you.
Yes.
Okay, so who do you want to go to first? Marcus at the Church of Cord or at the Church of Pelor?
Marcus, because we know him.
Okay, well, Marcus, now it's... So remember, it was evening time when you came back here. And you want to do that in the evening or you want to do that the next day?
What hours are the churches open?
It's a church, it's always open.
We'll see. Because we may need to head out early tomorrow to get to... If it's... Was it 40 kilometres or 20? I'm getting confused.
20.
20.
Yeah, 20. I don't get confused, I just forget.
So, well, we'll see if Marcus is busy or not.
I've actually even got a detailed map of that Church of Pelor and the Church of Cord. Marcus would be going around. He'd be there, anyway. He would be found for you, if you wanted them.
Yeah.
He would greet you fondly. Ask you how you fare.
And say, well, there's been ill tidings for my church.
He would say, I guess he would say, I hope that your god Barrack-thram, because you told him previously about your god, I hope your god Barrack-thram is protecting you and your cause, and I hope that...
Well, I have to explain that things have gone badly.
So, you'd well, how much would you tell him?
Well, how wary do you think churches are of each other in this world?
Like, there's 2 churches in the town here, Pelor and Cord, and if their alignments like line up, then obviously in a town where they've got a church of Pelor and a church of Cord, then these guys trust each other because they've been in this town together for a long time. They are the gods that look after this town, that watch this town in their eyes. So yeah, depends on the relations of each church, I guess, and in each area.
So he seemed friendly.
Yeah, Marcus is friendly.
So I think I'll be. I mean, I'll be vague on some things because it's up to Eleonora.
Right.
And when's Eleonora coming with?
Yeah, she will come with. Remember, she isn't saying much unless probed. She's very downtrodden feeling and very like she's lost hope.
Yeah.
She feels like this evil man has got the artifact of Barrackton.
So I would say that there's this person. Now he seems to be targeting Barrackthram, but who knows who he will go for in future.
Yeah. Marcus would then think, yeah, perhaps because Barrackthram is a new god, you know, he's trying to do his evil doings at a level where it's approachable. And I guess it could be a stepping stone to bigger and more dangerous things for a dangerous man like that who has such evil ambitions.
Yes.
So yeah, I guess someone that's threatening any god is a threat to all the gods because he's someone that thinks he can take on gods. If he's trying, if he's upsetting a whole church, or if he's trying to steal the artifact of a church, he's upsetting a whole church. It's a very ambitious, perhaps very dangerous man. So it can spell trouble for more than just the church he's currently a problem for. So yeah, he would be concerned.
Do you want to mention that he's in collusion with greenies? Greenskins?
Yeah, I think we've mentioned that.
Have you seen Marcus? You've not seen Marcus since you've encountered Greenskins
No.
and everything. So yeah, you could tell him that.
Yeah.
That should certainly ring a bell.
Yeah, it does. Everything becomes of great concern when you say that.
I can't remember, was it giants were part of the...
There was
if I remember, giants and goblins
Orcs and
are
goblins.
ideologically more concerning than the troll was.
Yes. A troll's an intelligent thing. It was orcs and goblins, the giants, and the ogres were the evil races that fought against the humans and the dwarves and the elves in the Great War.
Yeah, so I've let him know about this.
Yeah. And you are led to believe 50 years ago in the history books, the not so recent history books, that the orcs, that those races were driven from these lands, and there should not be any of them in any of these islands at all. So it is of great concern when you tell them there's orcs and goblins, and you saw a giant as well. It was a young, weak giant, nonetheless, but it was a giant nonetheless. Sorry. So yeah.
And there was a troll, and there were bugbears, and they were all in coke.
So at this point, he will tell you that I'm going to have to go make counsel with my sister.
Or sister?
Yes, my sister.
His sister runs the other church.
Yeah, she does. I'm just checking her name. She does.
In that case, I shall go and speak with them. And what's the Church of Barrackthram, a concept that was new to Marcus when I met him?
Yes. You told him about it for the first time. Now, her name is Leanthra. She's a priest at the Church of Pelor, and she's his sister, he says. The high priest at the Church of Pelor is Marcus, the high priest at the Church of Cord's sister. She's called Leanthra.
I will
So it's a family business.
go with him.
You're going with Marcus to see his sister.
Yes,
Okay.
because she may want to hear.
Let me just change maps again.
I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, we'll need to. Do we need to take our break? Yeah. Okay. So before we do this, then before you go to the other church, because I'll need. There's the church record. Before there it is. It's up here anyway. Before we do that, we'll take our 5-minute break.
Okay.
Right. So once again, thanks everybody for tuning in. I'm going to jump back into Discord with the guys. See if we're ready to crack on with the second half of the stream.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna have to go.
Oh, is there a situation?
Like, yeah, like an emergency.
Right,
Like,
just go. We'll work out the rest.
okay, I'm so sorry, guys.
No, don't worry.
No,
We'll
no
Don't worry
need to be
about it.
sorry. Take
Real
care.
life's more important.
Yeah,
Take care.
Take care of whatever it is,
Okay,
and
bye bye.
I won't let your character die when you're not here. Don't worry. Right. Okay. So we have to continue with without one player for the second half of the stream tonight, but that's not a problem. I won't let somebody's character die when we are playing without a player. I've always said that. We can NPC the character, she takes a back seat in any negotiations or major action. If you get into major action, she just she does her thing and I don't let her die. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Yep.
Cool. Alright, so you're heading to the Church of Pelor, where Leanthera is the High Priestess.
Right.
You see it here on the map?
There we are. Right.
So, let's bring everybody over. Where is everybody else? Who else have we got? Oh, there's Slinky Dick. Are you bringing the bear?
Probably best to stay outside the church with the bear.
Yep. Okay.
Which gives a reason for her not to be present, for Kiara not to be present.
Yep, so Kiara's outside with Charlemagne the bear. Almost forgot his name for a second. Charles, Chucky, Chaz, the bear. Alright, so you walk in this church and very different in layout to the other church. The idols and the statues are all of a different god. You're familiar with it. This is the pantheon here in this world. So it's the god of Pelor, which is the god of healing, am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know the
Among
details of
other
the gods
things.
too much. Yeah, among other things. But it's a lawful good aligned god. Correct? When you seek Leanthera, or if you seek Leanthera, I suppose, because you may not go, are you going in asking for her? Oh no, Marcus is going. You're going in with Marcus as he seeks his sister, right? So Marcus will go in, and he'll say to someone, the first priest that he sees, I seek counsel with my sister. Someone, bless you. Someone will then head off and get his sister. Now, a woman comes. The woman, although Marcus is human, this woman's features look like she might even be half elven. Like Kiara, she looks like she may have some elven heritage, this woman. Although he said sister, of course it's possible that she could be a half elf, because she could be a first generation half elf and be his sister.
Yeah.
But yeah, a woman that looks like, you know, she's got more pointy ears and she's got the shape of face and she's smaller and skinnier. She looks more like a half elf than a human, to be fair. But he said sister. He will greet her and embrace her, ask her a quick small talk about how things in the church are, how are the other priests, and then he'll say, yeah, we need to have counsel about grand things that are going on in the area and in the world, and perhaps in the divine world, because there's and you look at Darrow, because you're with him when he's talking to her. She's come out to you and say there's a madman attacking the church of a a newly, what's the word? A newly anointed god. What's the word? A newly ascended god. And he'll tell her the story of the god Barathram, who was a great hero of the Great War, a dwarven hero of the Great War, who ascended to godhood after he was, pronounced the great hero of this war by the gods themselves, because it was an earth-shattering war, had the potential to be. He was granted godhood and ascended. So he'll explain all this to his sister. And he'll look at Darrow and say that this is his church. He is the champion of this church, and he is on a quest for that church, and his quest takes him back there to protect it. For a madman has ransacked another church of Barathram, and then he looks at looks at Eleonora, and then he'll explain how there's another church of this Barathram, but they seem to be elves that worship Barathram as an elf, and he goes through the whole story. So I guess you're there for a little while. He's looking at Darrow. I guess Darrow, you're relaying the parts that you haven't yet relayed to him. You're filling in a little bit extra. Anyone else in the party, because you're saying about what's happened with the goblins, with meeting Eleonora, with the madman. So you tell him the whole story. Whoever contributes, and she gets all this information as well from him. He says, well, and he looks at his sister and he says, I don't think it's our place to meddle in the affairs of this church when this church clearly has its own champion. And I mean, but what we can do in the sake of all that's good and holy, is we can help this champion of Barathram, the church that's under threat. We can help him in any way we can. And his sister will be like, yes, of course, anything we can do in my power in this church, anything, I mean, holy water, healing, whatever you need, whatever we can do, if we can help equip you, if you need any help.
Right.
So they're both willing to do anything in the power of their church to protect you in your journey back, to defend your church.
Yes, so I thank them. And say that I would seek to do the same while the good church is.
Yeah, so they won't directly interfere, but they will help you, because they believe you're a good man of a good church, and they will they'll help you in any way they can, without directly being involved.
Yes. And I do explain that there was the one oddity where I was sent to this island to find another branch of my church.
But since
And
then,
then
you found out that misinformation has been quite common in this whole thing, because you were never expecting it to be elves. It's everything's a bit up in the air. You were just told that there's another branch of the church on the big island. You went to the wrong, or they were wrong, and it was on the little small island next to it.
say, unless it's yet another church.
Yeah.
But they haven't heard, I'm checking, they have not heard of
perhaps
another church active on this island.
Yeah, perhaps the original information wasn't wrong. And on Torcea, on Panthea Minor, on this island, there is another church. But as far as you know, to no one here's knowledge, there is.
Pardon?
As far as you know, there isn't another one on this island. Not to anyone that you've spoken to's knowledge.
Yeah.
As far as you know. But you've spoken to a lot of people here, and you've asked the question around as well. The only answer you got was Garrick having heard something that directed you to that other smaller island where you did find it.
Yeah. And the priestess here hasn't heard of, presume. I confirm they haven't heard of any other unknown church on.
No, they were surprised that there was a church over there on the island they didn't know about. But then, to to their knowledge, there hadn't been any life on that island. No one lived there. It was just a rock with a big hole in the middle of it. No one's been living there for decades, so no one's been to look. They were living there quietly.
Yes, so unless they're, so as say, in the absence of any other information they can provide,
Yeah.
I've got to assume there isn't a church on this island of Barrack-Thram,
Nope. And there's
and
not.
therefore where this person was seen flying was to Panthea.
You have to assume that it's your church that's under attack, yeah. You have to assume. Well, these guys don't know not only about another new church of Barrack-Thram, and you're talking to the two high priests of the town. They don't. Not only do they not know about another church of Barrack-Thram, they don't know about any other church that's sprung up here on this island, because they wouldn't. To their knowledge, there isn't another church anywhere. They'll tell you that there's these two major towns where you'll find churches, and there are two halfling villages further south on the island. It's down in the woods, in the Fangwood, I believe. I'd have to check the map. There are two little villages that have always been there, and it's where there's some halflings, and it's two little halfling settlements, two villages of them. But so he doesn't know about what kind of gods they worship and if there's a church there, but he's not able to tell you whether that connects to Barrack-Thram or not. You would know that it doesn't, or you would assume that it doesn't. But then,
Yeah, and we haven't heard of halflings as being prominent in the lines.
they're not prominent in anything. It's a minor race that you'll find in any human area of this world.
Yeah. So it wasn't as if they'll be the sling of Barrack-Thram or
No. You wouldn't expect there to be, but I mean, you're not going to confirm that that's not the case unless you go and speak to these halflings in these halfling villages. Now, I want to see if I've got them. Are they on the map? I think they are. You know, they've got names and everything. Yeah, Little Spear and Broadfoot Vale. They're in the Torchwood, not the Fangwood. Right, let me pull you onto that map actually, because this is all there. This all exists. They've all got names and stuff actually. All the halflings. Little Spear and Broadfoot Vale. There's two halfling communities in this island as well.
Right, I'm waiting for the full map to come up. It's being a bit slow. I'm not sure whether these animations in chat are slowing it down.
They perhaps are.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
If you flick over to a different tab, like the characters tab or whatever, then it should fix that.
Is there a way to stop this switch?
No.
Unfortunately, no. I'm really sorry about that, Peter. I will not put any more in the chat from this point on.
If you just tab over to like characters or whatever, it might fix it. But anyway, yeah, way south down on this island, south of Helmsere, south west of Helmsere, are Little Spear and Broadfoot Vale. Two halfling towns, villages, hamlets, whatever. You'll find out if you go there. But yeah, everyone knows about it. They're not
I still can't see the bottom of the map, unfortunately.
Okay. I mean, it's not important unless you want to go there. But yep, further south and west of you, over the hills.
Yeah.
From hills. Well, now over the hills from where I've got Darrow Stoken. You're here.
Yeah.
So
But it
south of where
seems,
you are.
but it certainly, from where the wizard saw the eagles flying, it was nowhere near them.
No, it's going northeast.
Yeah, quite. So I think we should be headed northeast.
Yeah. Which for you is heading southeast to Elmsmere first and get on a boat.
Yeah.
Okay, so Marcus and Leanthra want to know if there's anything they can help with.
I mean, holy water. We've not encountered undead yet. A certain amount of holy water could be helpful, thank you.
You have a lot of holy water though, don't you?
Oh, hold on, maybe I didn't. Did I buy some up? I may even have bought some.
I know that Kiara
You
did.
bought, yes, you bought us a dose of holy water each.
I think Kiara bought some more as well, didn't she? Or she had some more.
Well, I bought what was available and gave people one each. Yes, that was it. So unless there was more holy water available, or unless I can't particularly think of.
Right, make a... What's a reaction roll? Make a reaction roll. Darrow.
Darrow, so making what a D20.
Yep. Or is it 2d10? No, it is d20. Your charisma's 14, so you got adjustment +2.
Hold on, here's a die.
Now you want to roll low there, don't you? So it's not great. Okay.
Excuse, I'm getting irritated by this animation. I'm going to be posting a load of junk just to get it off my screen.
Yeah, to do this.
There we are, that's better.
There you
It's
go.
gone.
Okay. Oh, I forgot what we were doing there. Were you getting any more holy water anyway?
Hmm?
Were you getting any more holy water, or do you have enough? Because that's available.
If that's available, yeah, I was looking at my character sheet.
Yeah.
And what I have. Hold on, where's the equipment ID?
I'm sure you have quite a lot.
I've got 4 holy water of my own.
Yep.
I gave 1 each. I'm not sure whether I included Eleonora in the 1 each.
I see 1 on Kiara's sheet.
Yeah, so say I got enough. So there was enough for 1 each, but not enough for 2 each.
Yeah, okay.
But I can't remember is whether I gave Eleonora 1.
Paul, can you remember? It's I'm not sure about the reaction adjustment roll. The reaction roll. You need to roll low, don't you? So he's failed on that.
I think so.
You do. You want to roll low, eh? Okay, so he's failed that. Okay, so never mind. Actually, let me do another one. So that was Darrow and Marcus. Let me
Yeah,
do
looking at the table, the lower it is, the better the reaction.
Okay. I wanted to do the other one for Kiara, since as the other high priestess here is a woman, but instead we'll do it for Cornaith. So Cornaith, make a reaction roll, and this is for Leanthra, the half-elf woman, the high priestess of this church.
Reactions
Alright,
normally on
so-
table 59.
So that's 2d20, correct?
2d10.
2d10.
2d10,
And
yeah.
my reaction adjustment is a +5.
Yeah, right, okay, so re-roll yours, Peter, for Darrow. It's 2d10, it's not 1d20. What table
And
is it?
I think I think that +5 translates
Should be
into a
-5.
negative modifier.
Yeah.
It does, yes.
Okay, so you. What's your charisma? Cornaith.
A 16.
Okay, so you both make it in that case, right? So, Darrow. Marcus is going to take off his finger, a ring, and give it to you and says, "May this protect you." And he looks over at his sister, and his sister pulls off a ring from her finger. These are pinky finger rings. And she'll hand it to Cornaith and say, "And may this protect you." And may Pelor, and then he will say, "And may Cord protect you." And they'll say that together. And they'll give you these 2 rings.
Okay, I thank them.
One for
They're
you.
both generous.
Well, they've gave you the 2. It doesn't necessarily...
Rather than to Eleonora, I'm just thinking.
Yeah. I don't want to give it to Eleonora because she's an NPC. But you don't have to use them, the 2 of you, but that's who they decided. They take them off and they're speaking to you and they hand them to you. He gives his to Darrow. She gives hers to Cornaith.
Okay, I will put it on. Don't know what the ring does.
Well, he just had it on his finger, so it's not likely to be a cursed ring.
Yes, I thank them. I don't say, but I don't know whether it's.
You don't know what it does.
I don't say, I don't know what it does.
Yeah.
He said, "May this protect you."
Yeah, so it may be a ring of protection, but I shall.
Well, Cornaith has identify now, but you could ask him. I mean, he's your friend. He'll tell you it's a ring of protection.
Ring from. Gone black on his name yet
Marcus.
again. Marcus.
Yeah, Cornaith is actually very practical when it comes to magical items. He genuinely would like to know what this ring will do, or what it's meant to do.
They're both a ring of protection. Are you casting identify, or are you going to ask them?
No, he's asking.
They're both a ring of protection +2.
So they're both +2.
Yeah.
Nice. So that's an armor class bonus and a bonus on saves.
Yep. It was worth going to see these guys. That was well played. I need to remember
So
that when I do the XP.
I would say there's arguments for other members of the party having the ring, but Darrow was given it.
Well,
And the
Exactly.
message, may it protect me.
Exactly. Yes.
they didn't necessarily mean "may it protect you." They may have meant as a group, but the words were may this protect you," and he handed it to you. It's up to you how you interpret it.
And I shall put in.
It's a serious armor class boost. You just already boosted your armor class by 2, didn't you? By
It
getting.
doesn't normally combine.
I know it does. It does.
You're saying it will.
It does. Yep. One ring will add to magical armor. 1. You can't do a ring and a cloak and something else, but 1 ring or 1 cloak or 1 whatever else of protection, amulet, whatever, will stack to your armor class.
Will
stack to your magical armor, yeah.
It does make sense.
1 will. You can't stack another one and another one, but you can stack your armor, and you can always stack an armor and a shield. So you can stack an armor, a shield, and 1 more. For me, that's how I play it. An armor, a shield, and either a ring, a cloak, whatever.
Yes. So in that case, having the main party warrior being a much better armor class does make sense.
Yeah. So you're going to put it on. What about Cornaith? What are you doing with the one that's given to you? And they'll tell you about how powerful the magic it is. So meta, it's a +2 protection ring. They'll tell you that it's a protection ring of great power, 1 up from the standard. So it's +2.
Cornaith will wear it with the reasoning that I just threw into the Roll20 chat. He needs to be able to stay alive. He's unable to wear armor, and that will help him keep the group alive from the freaking monster magnet gnome stalker that we have.
Yep, because I thought you might think about giving it to the stalker, but you're going to wear it yourself. What does that put your armor class to?
With his armor spell, that takes him down to a 1.
Wow. And Darrow, you must be pretty low now.
-1.
-1. Nice armor class.
I mean, that 1 is really useful when you only have 11 hit points.
Oh yeah, very, very. Darrow, that -1, that's tasty, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you?
I'm basically the party tank, so
You are the front line, yeah. No corona these days.
yeah, quite.
Stinky Nook maybe have fighter class, but he's not a frontline fighter. He's a round the back fighter. Sneaky, sneaky.
So I need to find some magical leather armor or braces of protection of some kind.
Yep. Now we gave you a chance to find them, didn't we?
Yeah, there was a chance.
Yeah, that was cool. Remember that. Alright. So, yeah, they just give you these rings at no cost.
Right, but I assume if I return to this island once the mission is done, then I'll return my ring.
Well, yeah, they say, may this protect you on your quest. May this protect you and your church.
Yes.
Which is he's quite ambiguous about it, but yeah, he says, may this protect you and your church. May my God and her God protect you.
You know, actually, thinking about it, our stalker does tend to get ambushed.
Yep.
I feel like, honestly, Cornaith would hand it to him because he needs the protection more, you know, just in case my spells can't save him.
He's your protection.
So Sneakinuk would have that ring at this point.
Oh, so giving it to him, you want to protect your protection.
It's an investment in my life, my longevity.
Okay. All right.
He's got to be able to survive the monsters that he attracts, so that my spells can save him.
Okay, so Snake Nook, did you hear that? You've been handed this +2 ring.
Could you not adapt it to Maverick, my Lord Wizard? I understand if Maverick were to be harmed, then you yourself would be in great danger.
Oh, yeah,
I have no intentions of him being in harm's way.
Yes, great wizard, but sometimes these things happen despite our best intentions.
Have you ever
protect you?
Have you ever tried to catch a crow?
I understand a fireball is really very difficult to avoid.
I mean, metagaming, as long as Cornaith makes his save, the familiar takes no damage, if I remember correct from the mechanics.
No, it's if the familiar dies, then you're making saves.
No. Against spells and stuff.
All right, yeah. Sorry.
Oh God, there was something about it.
Anyway, we can worry about it later.
Anyway, it's his first. Well, basically, Sneakinuk is trying to protect the wizard, and he thought the familiar made the wizard vulnerable. Therefore, the familiar needs protecting. If Cornaith turns him down, then he will quite happily accept the ring on the understanding that if Cornaith needs it, then he will return it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And Cornaith would much prefer him to wear it.
Very well. He will wear it.
What does that make Sneakinuk's armor class then?
That boosts his armor up from I think 6 to 4.
And don't forget, it also gives you a +2 on all your save throws.
Yep. And if you've got the armor spell on me, then that would put it up to armor class 1.
You're the one that was really needing it, eh?
Oh yes.
That's good. It's good you got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
on saves, this is the wording. When the familiar is in physical contact with its wizard, against the wizard saving throws against special attacks.
Ooh.
Special attack would normally cause damage. The familiar suffers no damage if the saving throw is successful, half of damage if the saving throw has failed.
Okay. So, but that's only when the familiar is in contact with the mage. So
In
if
other
it's
words, sitting on your shoulder,
sitting on your
yes.
shoulder or whatever, yeah, it doesn't get those saving throws when it's flying or whatever.
Just get its normal save. So, and if it saves for half against a fireball, it's dead.
Yeah.
So
But realistically, what wizard is going to waste a fireball on a crow flying around instead of the mage in robes?
Yeah, he's gonna use a
Agreed.
magic missile.
Yeah.
Well, you never know. It might be his only spell memorized, his only offensive spell, and he needs to get that fucking bird out the sky for whatever reason. You never know.
Well, I mean, the difficult thing is if it happens by accident. I mean, this is out of character, but if the crow is around, it happens to be in an area which is unexpectedly hit by something,
Yeah.
then it can suffer. But
Yeah.
anyway, regardless of that, we'd all work to get Maverick as well protected as possible anyway.
Yeah.
To be fair, I've had a week to think about this application and the risks of having a familiar, and I'm okay with all of them.
The benefits of what he can see is amazing. He can be a mile away from you and telepathically tell you what he sees. Really,
Yeah.
it's pretty good. He can fly a mile up, and has crow's vision. Raven, well, he's Raven. So yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's the Church of Pelor, and those guys, they can help you out with. They've gave you those rings. They can get you some more holy water if you want.
Sneaking up would be very grateful for anything that's useful against undead or demons or creatures like that.
So that's holy water.
Holy water would be wonderful, yes.
So yeah, you can get. I guess we've got enough blessed holy water ready to give you another half a dozen bottles if you need it.
Okay, I will carefully stow that in my backpack. I offer them a cigar in thanks.
Leandra will politely decline. Marcus will say, "Why, thank you, good gnome. I will save this for later." And he'll put it away in a pocket in his robe. But he'll thank you very graciously and take you seriously. Takes you seriously and he thanks you graciously for it. He'll save it for later.
Probably one of the most valuable possessions I have, actually.
Yeah.
Right. So,
How many do you have left? Because we need to keep count. Because it's a cool flavour item. But
Oh yes, I'm down to 17.
so the next day, unless there's something else tonight.
Well, it's night time now, so
Yeah, so we go back and rest again.
machine at arms.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you're back with Kiara.
Okay,
Maracai's still there. He's going to stay there for the night and go home in the morning.
fair enough.
So we'll travel with him part of the way, and then
Yep.
we'll continue on the way we were going to go yesterday.
Yeah, he'll be
I
happy to
went-
do that again.
Okay, I'll inquire of Norm and Malachi whether there are any messages that they want us to carry across to the other island, to anyone there.
Maracai has the ability to get a message across that island you've seen.
Yes, agreed. But that's to people he knows.
Norm.
And if-
Well, yeah. Norm is giving he's giving you a letter to give to Captain Bob already,
Okay,
and that's it.
fair enough.
Okay. Right, we had we rest the night.
Rest for the night, and then the next day you're heading off to Helmsere, but you're going with Maracai down the road. So far as, let me just switch the maps again. So you're heading with Marakai to here. And then you're going to go the rest of the way without Marakai. He's going to go to here. Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Right, so your journey up to here is uneventful. And you can part ways with Marakai. So anything to say to him before you go?
We thank him for his great help and
Okay. Now it's a third to a half of the way through the day. By this point. Oh, now. Where is the bird when you're travelling through the woods? Cornaith, the raven. I want to know about where does he sit on your shoulder? Does he fly above you?
I would say he's flying.
Okay.
Definitely flying.
Because he sees something that he's going to see something that he'll definitely see before you make a perception check. So the weather's clear today. So
I'm going to take full advantage of the fact that now we can have an aerial view and this thing can communicate telepathically
so
with
I need
me.
to whisper to you, Paul. Let me whisper to you.
Just remember, it's animalistic impressions,
Yeah.
not specific.
As far as crows is concerned, it's a bit like magpie. Ooh, shiny.
Yeah. So
Ooh, that looks edible.
So I've whispered you, Paul. I've whispered you.
In Discord or Roll20?
Yeah, I'd use Discord because I don't know how to whisper in Roll20. This is after you part with Marakai.
Oh,
Oh, indeed.
my friend has informed me that there is a shiny tail in the sky.
shiny tail.
Little dragon.
Everybody else, everybody roll perception checks, and Cornaith roll it with +2. Which I guess is a -2, really, when you apply it.
D20 or 2D10 or what?
It's D20 against your intelligence and wisdom average. Darrow, that might be a fail.
I think it probably is.
Holy shit.
Oi! Right, you definitely see it. You flat out see it, okay? Does anybody else see it, first of all? I'll roll one for Kiara. Let's just see if Kiara sees it. Kiara sees it. Let's roll one for Eleonora. She'll see it as well. So, if you look up in the sky, you will see. It's almost like a star you can see in daylight. It's like a star. As far as you can tell, it's a star, but it seems to have a tail like a shooting star. It's the best you can describe it as. You see a shooting star, but you see it in the daylight. That's what you see. Cornaith, with your excellent vision, I can't tell any more about it than that. I guess you just see it a little bit more clearly. Even with that critical roll, you don't know what it is, other than what you've seen in the past as stars, and you may have seen a shooting star or heard stories of a shooting star. It's a shooting star, but it's not.
Direction is it heading?
It's not moving as such, but it looks like it is. You know, so you can't physically see it move along the skyline, but it's got a tail as if it's moving, and it looks as if it's moving down the way, like towards.
Okay, so modern day comparison. Back in the day when airplanes actually flew through the sky, is it like a plane flying, leaving a trail behind it, or is it like a plane flew by a while ago and the trail is still there?
No. Not even a trail, like a star, but the light of the star, like, goes off in one direction. Do you know what I mean? Like a tail, like, of light. It's just the light of this star is in the shape of star plus a tail, like it's a shooting star.
Like a comet.
Yeah, like a comet. Yeah, like a comet,
Interesting.
like a Halley's comet. Yeah, yeah, like a comet. That's what you see, like a comet. That's as much as you would know about what it is. Is that what? That's what it looks like, a shooting star, a comet. One of these. Looks like it's heading down towards the Earth, if anything.
And what direction is it in? Not what direction is it traveling. What direction is it in?
What do you mean?
Like, is it north, east, south, west?
Oh, north. Yeah, north.
So from where we are, it's in this direction.
Yeah. But it's way in the sky.
Right.
Into the north, yeah.
And it's not traveling in that direction. That's
You can't...
the portion of the sky that we see it in.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, just making sure I understand you.
Yep, you see it to the north of you. And travel, and the tail, if anything, it looks like it's coming from space to Earth.
Cornaith would say, as interesting as that is, there is nothing we can do to figure out what it is from here. I think we should just press on.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it may be some sort of omen, but
Do you just move
I
on?
mean, if you believe in those type of things.
Before we move on, I will try climbing, getting to as high a point as I can, so I can try and get a sketch of its position relative to other parts of the island that I can see.
Okay, well, there's forest to either side of the road, so it's easy to climb up a tree.
Okay, I'll pick an easy one. I'm not a great climber, but it's basically so that I can get its position relative to other parts of
Yes.
the island. So when we get to the town, we can describe where we saw it.
As far as you can, yeah, and as far as you can see, it's way north of this island.
Okay.
they've just bombed Arrow's home.
Oh dear, it's not another kinetic missile.
Well, Darrow's home from here would be northeast, and this thing seems to be to the north.
Right.
So maybe not. Anyway, yeah, so you move on?
Yes.
Alright. Okay, a little further down the road, you encounter something. On the right-hand side of the road, so this side, on the side of Maracai's house, hang on. Just off the side of the road, just in the trees a little bit, you see a figure about dwarf height.
Oh, a normal-sized figure, yeah.
Yeah, a dwarf-sized figure, even not human-sized, dwarf-sized. You see a figure in the trees.
Yeah, the normal-sized figure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So you see like a dwarf height figure in the trees, a little bit into the tree, like 15, 20 feet in. Just you can just make out that he's a dwarf height and not human height. And not you can tell he's a dwarf, not an adolescent human, because of how stocky and how built he is. He's a dwarf. You can tell from that distance.
Okay, I stop.
Yeah. If he's a dwarf, I greet him in dwarfish.
What would you say in dwarfish? Just the greetings?
Greetings, yeah.
No reply. The figure doesn't move.
I cautiously move towards it.
Okay.
Does it look like a statue?
As you get closer to it, you can see that it does look like a statue, yes. It's not moving at all.
And I start worrying about basilisks and cockatrices.
Mm-hmm.
I freeze and kind of have a look around for any bird-like or lizard-like creatures.
Don't see
Hello.
I'll pass the message back to Darrow that it looks like it might be a statue.
Okay, well, let me just change it to a different map, because I've got a token for the statue, I think. There's your statue.
Or is that the statue?
And to reduce things, first of all, I can work. Oh, there we are. Okay.
So that's the statue there.
Yeah. Now, if you get close enough, you can see that it's a statue of a dwarf in armour and a shield with an axe and a helmet and a backpack. Looks
Does
like
it
this.
does it look stylized like a proper statue, or does it look realistic like a stone person?
Looks realistic, like a really good carving of a dwarf adventurer, almost. Guy's tooled up like an adventurer. It looks like a statue of an adventurer that you'd find in a town, and he's in a pose where he's like almost running to attack something.
Yeah.
In that case, we certainly keep an eye out for danger. Any bird droppings or anything to give an idea of how recently this statue has been around?
Yeah, there's signs of moss, signs of bird droppings. Yeah, signs that it's been around in the woods for a while. Yeah, like moss growing up over its, some vine kind of things growing up over its feet, moss growing on it. Yeah, insects running about all over it. Yeah, it's been here for a wee while at least.
Okay, so say a prayer for the statue, then continue.
Back to the road.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, wrong map. Sorry.
Obviously, we know someone who might be able to do stone to flesh.
Well, on inspection, there was no plaque or anything on the statue. Are you suspicious that it's not a statue and that it's a actual dwarf being turned to stone?
That's what we're concerned.
So you're just going back to the road, okay?
There's no, as I say, there's nothing. It's the well, if the statue's had moss on it and whatever, it's presumably sunk into the ground a bit.
No, I mean, it's got signs of fresh moss on it, like not years and years of growth, no. It's not sunk into the ground, in fact. You'll see small plants, small vine plants just starting to come up over the feet of it. So, yeah, I may have misconveyed a little bit. It's not been there a long time.
Are there any clan marks or distinguishing marks or personal runes, that sort of thing?
Yeah.
Presumably Darrow doesn't recognise the person.
You don't recognise the person. There is a herald on his shield, yeah, so...
Okay, well, let's take a drawing of that, and then Darrow can ask when we get back to Stonehaven whether or not they know who this was.
Well, does anybody have any non-web proficiencies in something like heraldry or anything that would...
But the other thing is, does the statue have any base, or is it basically its feet?
Good question. I was waiting for that one. It is just its feet. Doesn't have a base. No base, no plaque.
I would have thought that when it rained, it would to some extent start to sink into the ground under its own weight.
I guess to the smallest extent that you would, to what you would expect, but not that it's been here around it any length of time. I guess by your analysis that it's quite fresh, but it's just not immediately
Possibly
fresh.
Malachi would be able to turn it back, bring this back to life, but until then, possibly great wizards in the future. You might be able to rescue him. All we can do is take the details of the heraldry, etc., to Stonehaven and see what they say.
Okay.
And we could send a message to Malachi.
Yep. It's Marikai, by the way, with an R.
Malachi,
Yeah,
I mean.
Marikai. Okay.
We could send a message saying that there's a statue which is suspiciously lifelike.
Well, that's what it is. It's a statue that is suspiciously lifelike. So how are you sending a message to him? Sorry? How are you going to send a message to him?
Well, when we reach
Helmsere.
Helmsere, because it's a few hours since we parted ways, isn't
Yes.
it?
Yeah, you're a couple of hours down the road. And you're still a few hours from Helmsere. We can actually measure it. Yeah, still a couple of hours walking.
Yeah. So yes, we'll continue on our walk.
Okay. Okay, well... No, hang on. Wrong button. The rest of the day is uneventful. The rest of the journey is uneventful. You can still see whenever the sky is clear, whenever there's not clouds, you can still see the shooting star or whatever it is in the sky. But come early evening, you make it to Helmsere.
Yeah.
Now, we don't have a map for Helmsere. Not drawn out. So I'll just describe it. It's a port town. If anything, it's a little bit bigger than Messina. With how you'd expect it to be with as a port town. A lot more shops. A lot more merchant stalls, a big market area with a lot of stalls, a lot more shops, like fishmongers and everything down on the docks. That, like a fishmonger's alley, a fishmonger's row, that kind of street. Like, like an area of the city is like the docks where all the dock workers live, and then all the way around. I need a thing. All the way around here, like round the outside of the city, it's it's boats, fishing boats going out into the bay, and then there's the trade ships, the merchant ships going across the water. What you need to do?
So we'll go to the harbour first.
Yeah. Okay, so you're looking for Captain Bob.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. So you're just gonna ask around, or?
Yes.
Well, you didn't get a description, so okay. Well, anyone will point you to the boat. We point you to quite obviously a trading cog. There's many of them here. This one has on the banner. It's just like a wheel of a ship. It's, so there's a banner flying on the mast of the ship, and it's a wheel with a coin. A merchant's banner. He seems to be making his own standard, his own herald, but he's got this, on his sails, and so it's quite easy to spot, and everyone will tell you, yep, that's Captain Bob's ship down there, and direct you to it quite easily. Remember, it is night time, so the docks aren't so busy, but it's the docks. They're busy. They work at night, but it's not as busy as it would be through the day anyway.
Yeah.
Well, if Captain Bob's not on his ship, then we'll
We'll go to the
find
ship.
out which pub he's in.
Okay, so you go to the ship, and the crew would tell you that Captain Bob's not there. He's in the town drinking.
Do they tell us? Does he have regular haunts?
You tell you that he probably go to the Triumphant Ogre. It's the busiest bar in
Frown a
town.
bit at that name. Got decent beer then if it's busy. And head over that way.
No, I'm just going to double check I don't have a map for this town.
They won't have decent beer.
Even one drawn out.
Be made with surface stuff, won't it?
Loads for Machina, but what do I have for Helmsere? Not much, I don't think. I've got a map of all 4 floors of the Triumphant Ogre. I've got a map of the town, so I'll upload that for next week. I do have a map of the town. I'll upload it for next week. It's just another pencil map. So yeah, the dock area is quite big with a lot of houses down there and a lot of fishmongers and all the things that go with you know, boat repairs and things like that, and all the workers' houses down there. And then you've got a trading town. And in town you've got the Triumphant Ogre. There's a stables, there's a grocer, a fishmonger, a baker's, butcher. Well, there's many fishmongers, but there's one in the town. There's all the ones down at the docks as well. So there's the big fishmonger in the town. There's a general store. There's a Wagoneers there. Then there's a church of Moradin, which is a dwarven god. So I guess you're going to want to check that out at some point.
Yeah.
I've got the names of the guys there. Yeah, there's the dwarven church here. And I've got a map, so I'll upload that for next week.
Yeah, doesn't sound anywhere that would sell potions or whatever, so we'll
There's a general store.
yeah, we can look at a general store. Sounds like more aimed at population than adventurers.
Yeah, it seemed that Machina was the adventurer's town. You seem to get the vibe that everyone that lives there is retired adventurers.
Yeah, so and if it's on 4 floors, this inn, it sounds like it's got accommodation as well as.
Yeah, it's large. I've actually got maps of the rooms.
We will head over there. First of all, inquire about Captain Bob.
Captain Bob. Right, 2 seconds. I'm just finding Helmsere again in the folder. There it is. Okay. Oh, I've even got a list of items available in the general store. Look at that. Triumphant Ogre. I'll pull this map out. So, you've got a ground floor. Alright, okay, with a big L bar, in the top left corner there's a seated area around a fire. In the bottom left corner there's a big long table with about 12 seats around it. You've got a couple of random tables on either side of the entrance. And then you've got another one of the big tables to the bottom right, and then on the other side of the bar you've got the kitchen. I will have to upload this for next week. And then you've got on the first floor 6 rooms. Looks like 6 single rooms, and on the second floor you have 2 single rooms and 3 single rooms and 1 double room.
Yeah.
Sorry. So first floor 6 single rooms, second floor 3 single rooms and a double room. You've got a ground floor and there's a cellar. There you go. I'll put the map up next week, as well as the map of the town.
The second floor has the right number of beds for the party.
Yeah, 6 single rooms on the second floor. Well, the first floor, sorry. The one above the ground floor.
I was thinking 3 singles and a double would accommodate.
Oh, the
5.
second floor. Yeah. Yeah, so up there you've got 3 singles and a double. And there's like there's actually an area between all of them, which is like a communal area with a couple of seats around it as well. So on the top floor there's a bit of a it's in the shape of a hallway, but I guess it's a lounge area.
Yeah. So we will go to the bar.
Okay.
And ask if Captain Bob's here.
I just stupidly closed this again when I've got the names of the guys that run the bar and stuff in it as well. Helmsere, Triumphant Ogre. So the owner's name is Neff Leamington, and his wife is Anne. The cook, his name is Wren. There's 2 maids called Sophie and Kellen. Oh, and there's 4 prostitutes work here. Yeah, there's a whore. This is a whorehouse as well. Forgot about this. Helmsere has the Triumphant Ogre, and yeah, there's a couple of whores work here. That's what the top floor is. So the first floor is for the regular customers, the top floor is for those customers. Forgot about that. It's all in my notes here. So that's the staff, there's 8 of them, including, the 9 of them, including the 4 prostitutes that work there.
Yeah.
Whether you wish to partake or not is up to you.
So we ask if Captain Bob is here.
Captain Bob is here drinking in the bar area. You'll see
So
him.
in that case, I want to buy a drink for each member of the group and whatever Captain Bob likes for him.
Okay, Captain Bob you'll find at the top left corner of the bar, the pub area. He's not standing at the bar. He's over at the top left with a few of the crew of his ship, drinking and playing cards. So you're asking the guy at the bar what Captain Bob would drink, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, he's saying that Captain Bob's drinking ale, beer.
Okay, so that's what I buy.
Okay,
Yeah, and,
for everybody in your group as well, and for him.
yes.
Okay, and you take his one over.
Yes.
Okay, what's the other members of the group doing?
I will go with him,
You're gonna go with him,
with my watered wine.
Cornaith. Cornaith will probably get a drink of wine as well and go with him as well, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, so Captain Bob is ironically, stereotypically, he looks like a pirate, I guess, because he's got the eye patch. He's got one eye, or he's wearing a patch over one eye anyway.
Yeah.
Dressed quite flamboyantly for a sailor, I suppose. He's got big gold earrings in each ear and a big gold necklace. I guess he's trying to be affluent. You saw his ship. He has a big herald on his sail. Like, it's not the done thing for merchants. No, they just have regular white sails or whatever colour, grey, whatever it is, brown. But he has, I guess it is white to be visible. I don't know much about sailing, but I guess even back in medieval times it was white, if possible, the sails to be visible. But yeah, he had a big brand on his. So he's trying to be affluent. The guy is wearing gold earrings, a gold necklace, gold rings, I guess, as well. And yeah, he has an eye patch.
Right.
Typical pirate.
The group greet him and offer him with the drink.
Ah, dwarf! And he'll take your drink and he'll smash it against yours, and he'll take a massive, big, long drink, and he'll keep going, and he'll put it down and go, okay, and my turn, and he'll buy one for you, and he'll buy one for all his companions, and he'll say, and what about your friends? I noticed you didn't buy a drink for my friends, but I would like to buy one for yours. What are they having?
Well, I mean, Damo provided the ale is tolerable, and Damo's happy to keep pace.
Schninken's fine with his, he's just drinking it slowly.
Yeah.
Okay, so he makes gestures at somebody at the bar. Over here gestures, and somebody comes out with a big tray full of big jugs of beer, and he'll hand one to you, Darrow.
Yeah.
Drink, and he'll give it again. He'll really hard, spill in like a quarter of the drink. He'll smash his into yours. Drink, cheers, and he'll go and he'll next another one, another whole pint. Gone.
I introduce myself to him when I get a chance.
I am Captain Bob, the best merchant on the sea.
I was recommended you by Norm.
Thistleton.
I'm blank on his surname, but
Norm Thistleton.
Norm Thistleton. I have a letter from him, but perhaps you want to enjoy tonight, and I can show you the letter tomorrow.
From Norma. No, give it to me. Are you holding it out? Because he would snatch it if you're holding it out.
I would hold it up.
Okay, well, he'll go to snatch it. Do you try to stop him?
No, but
Okay, so he snatches it away from you. This guy's quite drunk.
yeah.
Friendly, but a little
In
bit
his
kind of
cups.
friendly, but over friendly, like obnoxious with it. Like that. And he said, yeah, he's well in his cups. So he snatches it away from you, and he'll look at the seal. He's smiling. Got a missing tooth here and there. Pop the seal off, and he opens it up and he reads it. You have to take to the sea with me and me boys. You're friends of Norm. Oh, okay. So, and he does the gestures again. He gestures for more drinks. So you will travel with me, will you, dwarf? You and your friends.
Yes, presumably you'll be meet up sometime tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow in the morning at dawn. At dawn we sail.
Dawn. Right, okay.
I see everything is taken care of for your passage here, dwarf. Very nice. You're a friend of Norm's, I see.
Right. Yes, we did him a service in the past.
That's a very wise thing to do, dwarf. Norm is a very affluent and very influential man, and you will be well looked after if you're in his favour.
Yeah.
Well, look at this. You're going to get the luxury of my boat for no cost.
Yes, thank you.
The Wayfarer. That's the name of his boat.
Yes, yes. So, and if it's my turn to buy around, then I will include his crew or whoever's around.
Then you'll do so and get for everybody, right? Okay. We'll work out how much it costs later. We don't need to do that. Slow us down semantics. Okay, so you buy a round for him, his companions, and yours if they want one, I guess.
Yeah, and we'll discuss, and I'll ask for about food and board.
Your food and board is taken care of, dwarf. You and your friends.
Oh.
That's what the letter's for. Everything, Norm's taking care of everything for you, my friends.
Right.
I work almost exclusively. I had a contract almost exclusively for Norm. I'm an independent trader, but I contract almost exclusively for Norm on my personal boat, going back and forwards from Helmsere to Helmsere. He pays me very, very well, and it keeps me safe. I don't have to go adventuring on the high seas.
Okay, so clarification. He's saying we're staying on his boat tonight.
Oh well, no. Sorry. Everything's taken care of, as in meals or anything, because it's only a day's journey. You're not overnight. He goes through the day. So sorry.
No, I was talking about.
Yeah, forgive me.
I was mentioning food and board. I was meaning the pub for tonight.
Oh, your drinks here, yes. That as well. Sorry, that as well is taken care of by Norm. Sorry, that is taken care of. So anything you want to eat here, your room's here for the night, and your drinks for you and your friends. Sorry, yeah, that is all taken care of by Norm in your letter.
Okay, well, I still think the rounds bit, if I'm treating them there, then that has to be my money and not Norm's.
Okay, well, no one's exchanging any money at any of these rounds. Like when the maids brought over the drinks, that was your round, they didn't take any money from you, and when they brought over the round that was Captain Bob's, they didn't take any money. So obviously you're expected to square up at the end.
Yeah, well, we'll sort that out.
Well, when it comes to it, Captain Bob's going to insist that no, you don't need to pay anything. It's all for you and your friends. Everything is taken care of. All passage on my boat, all your drinks here, all your board here, it is all taken care of. I'll feed. It's a day's journey on my boat. I will feed you. There is a cabin to sleep if you need to sleep. If you're seasick, everything is taken care of. Don't worry. It's luxury on my boat on the Wayfarer.
Okay.
He would insist when it comes to it. He would insist, no. Norm says it's taken care of. It's taken care of.
Right. Um, I asked him something about if I was wanting to send a message to Malachi, who he's presumably heard of, I don't know.
This guy works for Norm. He's not likely to know Norm's friends outside of business. Like, nah, this guy's not going to know Malachi. He may have heard the name in conversations. But this guy's got more of a business relationship. This guy isn't Norm's friend so much as he's a.
Right, okay.
This guy's not
I
going to know
asked
Malachi.
him where would be the place where one would look for a messenger to send somewhere. If he doesn't know, I'll ask the bar staff.
Yeah, you would get a. Well, where would you hire a messenger in a town like this? You would just hire some kid to do it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but this is going out. This is a certain journey, so
Well, you have to work out where you're going to find somebody to do it.
Probably one of the guards. If you can find an off-duty guardsman
Mm-hmm.
who's kind of having a week's holiday break or something, we could then hire him. And then you're sending somebody who's trained rather than just.
Listen, this may be the case of level 1 adventurers required. Do you know what I mean? You may have to put up a notice and put it in the. Do you know what I mean? You may have, because this is something that you're delegating, so you may have to put up that notice looking for the next level 1 party that's coming along. Basically, that's who your messenger is, isn't it? Because if it's a dangerous mission, if you're going through the woods, blah blah blah, you're kind of looking for some level 1
Well, that's
sellsword.
why I was suggesting an off-duty guard.
Yeah.
Because if this isn't an adventurer's town, chances of finding an adventure here are going to be limited, aren't they?
Unless they're coming in here and heading to Machina. Unless they came in on the boat today, then they're heading to Machina. Looking around in the bar, you'd see some people wearing armour and with sheathed weapons. And with helmets under their arms, etc. Yeah, you might see the type, because this is where they'd come in to go to Machina.
I'll ask around.
Okay, well you'll find a couple of young, I guess, wannabe sellswords, a couple of guys in their cheap leather armour with their sword that would take on a mission like that for you if you give them enough gold. What are you offering to pay them?
We'll ask where they're headed.
They're going to Machina.
Yeah, I'll ask if they can stop off on the way.
You're going to give them directions to Malachi's house and give them a message to give it to him.
Yes, and describe what the path off looks like.
Okay. And you are going to pay them how much? How much you're going to offer them to do it?
I can't remember how much we were being paid by.
I think your first ever pay from Norm was 500 gold. It was quite a lot.
Yeah,
This is
but
just
we were fighting something.
This is just a message, a courier message. I would say you're, like, even for, say there's two guys, right? These two young adventurers, they would want something like 25 gold each. Because there's got to be like a minimum fee for an adventurer, right? A sellsword.
I mean, basically, it's a couple of hours work. They're going in that direction anyway.
Yeah.
So they've got to walk up the track to Maracai's house and then back down again.
Yeah. So probably not even 25 gold each. Probably the minimum for this is going to be even less. Say 10 gold each. 10 gold pieces they're going to deliver a message for you.
Okay.
Right. I mean, we don't know of any other messenger service around.
And what kind of message is it going to be? You're going to write something down?
Yeah.
I'll pop over to the bar and ask whether I can borrow some wax and a candle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, bring it back. Ask Darrow if I can borrow his signet. I presume he's got a
Yeah.
He's got a holy symbol, yeah.
Yep, fine.
So you're going to use that as your
Yep.
Yes.
shield for this letter. Cool. Very cool. So his holy
Well,
symbol is like something circular with 3 axes and in like a triangular position.
So thank Zobiletta thanking Malachi for his assistance.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for what a good host he was, blah de blah de blah,
Mm-hmm.
and mentioning that
Appears to be a petrified dwarf at such and such a location,
Yep.
just off the road between
Yeah.
Shuna and such and such.
Yep. Now,
Yeah.
let's mark it up on the map. So, this is fun. We can do this. I've got some things that are hidden on the GM layer that haven't been used that were from the last campaign here. I may delete them, I may use them. But what I can do is I can go to map and background and I can add it. Text. So it was down here, and it was on this side of the road. So if we write it in pink, and we do size 32 for now, see how this turns out. So let's see how this works.
this wasn't someone else's
it's too
PC then.
Well, just wait. Yeah, okay. Done.
Yeah.
Add,
Thank you very much.
added location to the map.
And if we come back to this island, we can see if the mysterious statue is still there.
So you're just telling him about it, thanking him for his hospitality and telling him about this mysterious statue.
Yeah.
Okay? Done. Do well.
Which we shall say we think could be a petrified dwarf.
Okay, so these two adventurers, these two young hirelings, whatever, these two guys, swords for hire, they're going to ask you, do you want us to go right away tonight or do we go tomorrow? When do we do this?
Tomorrow's fine.
Tomorrow's fine.
Okay.
It's not urgent. The
Okay.
statue's been there for God knows how long.
And you're paying them up front in cash, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Tell them they're going to where the path is to Malachi and that he's this really powerful wizard.
Okay. That's fine. So you pay them 10 gold pieces each, 20 gold pieces, and they'll go tomorrow.
Yeah.
Any other business? Oh, I'm echoing a little bit through you now, Peter.
Now, I can't think of anything else we had to do.
Nope.
So you want to get rooms for the night here at the Triumphant Ogre.
Yeah.
And travel in the morning with Captain Bob and his crew.
Yeah.
Okay. So your room and food even is paid for, so you don't need to pay for anything.
Right.
So we can pass a night in this hotel, in this inn,
Yeah.
without incident. And wake up the next morning. Any business, you remember, you need to be the elite, they sail at dawn, so you need to get woken up before dawn, you need to somehow be woken up before dawn, and be at the docks for dawn, if you want to travel.
Yeah.
So is that the plan? You're going to get up early, go to the docks at dawn.
Yes.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. As you get to the docks area, it's very, very busy in the morning, bustling, with traders going up and down, people selling oysters and clams and fish and all sorts. in big baskets walking up and down. The streets are busy. It's really hard to move around. Everyone seems to be used to it though. Everyone seems to be moving really fast even though it's really jam-packed. There's kids in the street playing some sort of game. Cats and dogs, you think? They seem to be running about barking and meowing at each other and chasing each other. These kids are really scruffy, like no shoes on their feet, dirt all over them, and they're just running about wild.
Keep an eye out in case they suspiciously bump into us.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, if you don't watch out, they probably would bump into you. Because they seem to be just...
Yeah, so certainly make sure that valuables are not in sight.
Exactly.
Okay. You're very suspicious of kids playing in the street?
No, we're suspicious of thieves.
Okay.
Just, off top of your head, about how many are there?
Well, kids, at least a dozen.
Seeing Darrow's suspicion, Cornaith will pull out the 20 silver pieces in his pouch and kind of toss them in the direction of the kids.
Oh, they'll scramble for them. Probably start fighting over them.
And also an additional 105 copper. And he'll look at Darrow and say, there, the kids are distracted.
Nice. Okay. So you're not getting pickpocketed by those kids because they're scrambling for copper and silver pieces on the ground. So if that was their intention, it's not going to happen. Find out next week in your experience rewards. Nah, very clever.
I can't say that I blame him for feeling that way. I mean, these are street kids playing on a dock, but a few silver and copper saves everything more valuable.
First of all, very clever, and just an experienced player of Peter to be suspicious straight away, and of all of you to be suspicious, and for you to do that, it's very clever. Because they probably were trying to pickpocket you. Let's be honest. I guess I was too obvious with it.
It's freaking D&D. Come on.
Yeah. It's a rough part of the town, and it's kids running about in the street.
The moment you were saying it was crowded.
Yeah. You'd put your hand on your purse.
Yes.
Shield over where his. You don't even have a shield. Both hands over it. Weapon sheathed and both hands over the purse. Yeah, I get you. Okay. No one's got pickpocketed today. Well played, guys. Once again, you one-shotted my pickpockets. You're good at one-shotting everything I put up against you. You one-shotted my pickpockets, so fair enough. So you find Captain Bob and his crew loading up Captain Bob's boat, the Wayfarer. I'm sorry I don't have maps for all this, guys. I will have next week.
You're fine.
I will have next week.
It's not like we're here for an extended period and need them.
I want to get more and more maps in it.
At the moment, anyway, we're not here for an extended period. Who knows what'll happen?
Yeah.
Offer to help with some of the loading.
Since I can't particularly well, being a little bit on the small side, I shall ask Captain Bob whether it's possible to take us further up the east coast to shorten the journey up the Silver Road.
Oh, so you want to talk about... Okay, let me just change maps then.
We appreciate there aren't any ports on the east coast, but would it be possible to drop us off on the coast so that we could make our way inland?
No, there is a port, but it's a long way up.
No, I don't think that's a port.
No, it was all the way round the other side of the island, wasn't it? Here.
Yes.
Here. Let's say these are ports. But they're right on the other side of the island. So you're talking about going somewhere near here instead?
Yes. Well, we were talking if we can get to... Is it Asker, if that's a port?
Yes.
If we can get there, that's the shortest journey.
Yeah, but what you're talking about now is a several days journey.
Yes, but it's still quicker than going up the road.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the boat equipped for that.
Okay,
He's
right.
he's got a small. It is a small coastal boat, so he can go around the coast, but he's not equipped for days and nights of sailing. He doesn't have the crew for it. He's got a small crew.
All right.
He's
So-
used to this route here.
Yeah. He's not provisioned for a longer route, really.
Okay. Is he aware of any ships or captains in Helmsere?
Hel-
Is it
Helm-
Helmsere?
Helmsere. So it's Elmsmere here and Helmsmere there.
Okay. Is he aware of any captains or ships in Helmsmere who would be able to take us up the east coast?
In Helmsmere, probably, yeah.
Okay. Well, if he can take us across to Helmsmere and recommend us to a reliable captain there,
Mhm.
then we'd be very grateful, I think.
Okay, well,
Yes, Barrow?
he'll tell you that here, all the boats are just doing the same as him, Elmsmere to Helmsmere.
Right. I mean, I obviously know how long my journey took
Yeah.
from Silver Hall to here.
Days of walking. Days and days. How many kilometres do you walk in a day? 50? Less? Less, eh?
Dwarf, so stamina but short legs.
Yeah, not many, eh? Not really many. Probably 30, eh? If you're lucky.
If that.
In a whole day travelling, yeah, if you're lucky. I've not spelled it right, actually. Hold on, look
That's
at
why I
this.
said Helmsome.
Yeah, sorry, buddy, that's my bad.
No
You're
problem.
correct.
No problem.
Just only now noticed it, so that's on map player. It should be Helmsmere. Oh, I can't even edit. I'm going to make a new one, motherfucker. Right, so.
Would you believe in the player's handbook they actually give you movement for cross country?
Really?
Right.
Twice the base movement rate in miles for a 10-hour day of travel. So a dwarf would realistically walk about 12 miles in 10 hours.
Yeah.
Bit over a mile an hour.
Well, a kilometre. I've marked this out in kilometres. A kilometre's 1.6 if you want to do the maths.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the conversion. I'm just throwing out what they have in the player's handbook.
I'm thinking this may be cross country without a path.
No, the Silver Road is a road.
I was saying, but I think what Paul's mentioned
Uh-huh.
sounds like cross country without a path, uneven ground. But if you're walking along a road, it ought to be quicker.
Yeah, it will be. That's cross country.
Yeah, that's what it's for, is cross-country movement.
Yeah, so it'll be quicker than that. Zoom in a bit as I do this.
How many of us are there?
5.
5 and an animal.
5 and 2 animals now.
Well, let's assume that Kiara could ride the bear. I mean, it's pretty much done everything else for her, so I don't see why it would have an issue with her climbing on its back.
I don't think for long distances though.
I suppose that's the problem. If we've got a bear in the party, then horses are not going to be keen.
No. Well, it's a well-trained bear, so it just depends on the horses, I guess. Right, we need to work out what we do on a road per day, and then we can easily convert it to kilometres.
Dave,
Yep.
for non-web roads, what rates do you give people?
1 second. Let me just call up the spreadsheet.
As well as say, I'm assuming your web is at an unnaturally high travel speed, so we're watching.
Yes, it's a magical 25% increase.
Yes.
Right. Well, cross-country movement, I normally allow dwarves and halflings to go about 25 kilometres a day, cross-country.
Yeah. So
On clear or minor roads, then
40.
that would go up to about 40.
Yeah. That's what I
40
would
kilometres a day.
that's what I've guessed. 40.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, anyway, it takes about a day's travel for the boat because it's a small coastal boat. It's only 26 kilometres, but it's slow. So you would get to Helmsere tonight.
Yeah. So thank Captain Bob.
So you're all getting aboard this boat then?
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Just getting everybody over.
I suspect, therefore, your reference to Captain Bob was not a reference to Robert Maxwell, then, given how long ago he died.
No, I'll tell you what Captain Bob is a reference to. Now, can you see his name on the map that I've moved you onto? Have I moved you onto the right map?
Yes.
And you can see his name. Nah, the reason he's called Captain Bob, actually, believe it or not, and I guess it's quite funny, is because they used a token that had been used before. I just wanted this token, but the token was attached to a character sheet called Bobbeard, who was a pirate. Bob, B-A-W Beard, Bobbeard. Instead of red beard or black beard, it's Bobbeard. Bob being Scottish for ball, like kick you in the balls. So he was Captain Bob's beard, Captain Bob Beard. And what I did was I just made Bob spelled like that and just used the same character sheet. That's why it's Bob spelled like that's the only reason. It was used from an old character sheet, an old token. What's your constitution?
Mine may be 15 or so.
You're a dwarf, of course you have high constitution.
Yeah, 15.
Okay, so once you get away from the coast, are you ready to go? Are you wanting to do the journey? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, assuming you can do it in 20 minutes.
We could do what we need to do in 20 minutes anyway. If we have to stop halfway through something, we have to. We can't always time it perfect. So, once you get away from the coast a bit, Captain Bob signals and shouts to his crew to change the sails. So they whack up a bigger sail and he says, "Watch this, friends of Norm. I'll show you how we're the fastest boat on this sea." And you see all the other trading boats going straight. He veers off to the left, where the waves get choppier, and your boat starts tilting to the side, and he's riding the waves, and you feel he's riding the waves in the wind, and you feel it. He's really getting the speed up in this boat. So even though he's moving away from the pack, all these boats that are travelling towards Helmsere on the other island, he's moving away from them at an angle. So picture they're moving northeast, right? So he's now going north. But he's heading into choppier water. He's then using the waves and the wind, and he's really picking up speed in this boat. And you've never seen a merchant boat go like this, and he's really flying along. So, everybody does need to save versus seasickness, which I guess will be a constitution save.
Failed. 3. Which is hardly surprising.
So who failed?
Woohoo! I passed.
This is a really big lake.
You failed, Snake Nook.
I know.
Right, I'll roll
As
for
I said, hardly surprising.
Kiara's made it, and Eleonora. Oh, I'll need to check hers, right? Let's get her sheet up.
And the bear.
Wait a second. Eleonora's constitution is 13, so she's failed, so she's seasick. The bear, what's the bear's constitution score though? You don't know. The bear, I guess, needs. I'll roll a d20 if it's good or bad, and then we'll work it out on save versus its hit dice as a fighter level, I guess. Whatever the appropriate save is. But if we roll nice and low, problem solved. It's a success. Okay?
Yeah.
So the bear's not seasick, Eleonora is, and Stinky Dick is. Alright, so what's the effects of nausea? Because that is written in the rules, I don't need to make that up.
Probably the same as getting hit by a ghast.
Yes. That's,
Isn't it, Peter?
I didn't get hit by a ghast.
No, you made your saving throw.
You think it would be fair? You think it would be fair to say the same effects as stinking cloud?
Well, ghast,
it's nausea.
basically -2. Yeah.
It's written somewhere.
Well,
it's not -2 to attack rolls and saves, I think.
Ghasts exude a carrion stench in a 10-foot radius which causes retching and nausea. Those failing to make this save will attack at a penalty of -2.
Yeah, that's that. Same as whatever that says for nausea, that's what it is. -2 for attacks.
Yep.
Okay. So you're riding the waves, you're riding the wind, you're really flying along in this trading boat.
I'm clinging to the mast. I don't know about the rest of you.
A couple of you are a little seasick. The captain's really into it. He's yeehaw! He's hanging on to the sail. He's climbing up a little bit. He's a bit mad. He's loving it. He's not like any merchant you've seen before. He's trying to race the other ones by going out into the choppier water. You are travelling across the waves pretty fast. And at this point, I want to stop because I want Tammy to be here for anything that happens now. And there's only 15 minutes, so I'll cut it short if you guys don't mind.
Not at all.
So
We can kill the kraken next week.
we can do any kind of bookkeeping or anything you need to do just now, if there's anything needs done. But for the sake of we only have 4 players in our group, we'll wait till next week to continue when Tammy's here.
Yep, that's fine.
Yeah.
Everybody okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.